This one's for the stolen voices, my people that ain't got much traces. Trapped in the belly of the beast, everywhere is beef and there's never ever peace. Every day is peak and I never get to speak. Living in the Elmos, never get to see. Sitting in a cell, feeling like you're never gonna leave, but you can't sleep cause you got beef with the brother underneath of the bunk. Man, the truth of my speech is abundant. I don't need a reason to keep it 100. The government declared the war on the man. So this ain't a song, it's a glorious anthem to rep for the group that is normally abandoned. The poor is ignored when they're stranded. From Lagos to Kingston, Norwich to Camden, against all odds, of course we are champions. I'm the voice of Trayvon, I'm the voice of Stephen Lawrence, I'm the voice of Tupac, with no fuck life engraved on my stomach. I'm the voice of a runaway slave, holding a blade and facing a musket. Been a victim of the system too long, we get tired of waiting for justice. The voice of Fred Hampton Sr., killed for defending the people, and the right to exercise freedom of speech. We just want to be treated as equal. I'm the voice of the mums and the ones that pray for unity in the community. I'm the voice of the young trying to escape the slum, but they can't find the opportunity.
So much to say, but not enough. We hear the cries calling from the skies above, saying it's okay, speak your mind, open your heart, don't let no one add you to understand.
Ask me,
I want to hear what you've got to say, because I'm going to beat it around my head later on. And then be none the wiser or more the wiser. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's not a...
Not to be immature, not to be immature, but what was you going to beat around your head?
I'm
Not to be mature.
I'm still trying to find how that can be a dirty joke. What could I beat around my head?
I don't even know. Something of his.
Fam, you've gone too far, Tab. My brain needs I'm going home to my family.
His
German. I don't even know.
Right, boom. So, just get straight to it. We all good?
Yeah, all good.
We got a fourth one. Yo,
It's on today.
it's on, boy. Right, boom. So what I was going to ask everyone, first of all, I want to do things in a different way than what I've done before, because we're obviously trying to improve the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from left to right. See, I learnt my left and right. I'll go from left to right, and I'm going to ask everyone, just introduce yourself. Obviously, I'm going to put your little @ under your name when you chat. Introduce yourself. Tell us what you do or what you're about or what you're... Just tell us something. Boom.
Raw Smiles, aka Smiles, rapper, work with young people, youth club, play centre, and just about learning really, and growth, and that's about it.
What's going on for that mixtape weights and plates thing?
Right
you
now,
kissed your teeth.
everyone's just shagging, man. Right
Yeah.
now, bro. Like, obviously, I had my little one not long ago, so
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
do the daytime show no more. You get me?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now I'm trying to do the evening show after the management told me they liked it, but
Yeah.
now man can't hear back from them. So
Yeah, it's like
you
that.
get me? Sometimes it gets a bit political, and I'm not
Get
really
back to him.
chasing, man.
Get
You know,
me.
like that.
Just get back to
Hurry
him.
up,
Stop
man.
being on a long thing.
Of course. Yeah, mixtapes are coming. Took a little break off the music, but I'm getting back on it. Obviously, man's going through this journey, so a lot of the stuff that man was spitting about before is not relevant no more, innit? So I got to switch it up. So people might say I'm long, but it is what it is, innit? If you want it, you have to wait. But
I respect that.
you know what I mean? In that sense. But yeah.
Go for it, okay.
Yeah, Big Cakes, Mr. Kipling, aka People's Army, Origami. If you know, you know, I've done a lot of stuff out here since my younger days, so, you know what I mean, people rate the thing, but I'm just Cakes, yo. I'm here to just politic with my people, them. I got 6 albums out there,
Hey.
7 mixtapes.
Hey.
Just want to say congrats, my brother, on the new kid and that, and then the change up of the music direction. But if you know, I've been on this conscious thing for a minute. But like I say, if you're not conscious, you're unconscious. But do you know what I mean? It's not like a conscious as in we think we know everything. It's just like it's for the youths really. So I'm repping and building for the next generation car. Everyone's gonna meet their day, so it's all about what you leave.
You lot before me still. You lot before me.
This brother's a bad guy. Jedi is a bad guy.
Did I just wish the death on you? Nah, that's
No
fuckery.
way there.
I take that back. I slightly did it. Say, go on,
I'm Ivy Makusha, singer, songwriter. I do poetry as well. Wouldn't say that I do spoken word. It's more floetic with me. I do some work within the community, helping young people that have learning difficulties. And I'm also doing a podcast as well. So, a few bits and bobs. That's me.
Yeah, boom. Know me. I'm Jedi, communication facilitator. Ain't really got nothing else to say. I'm just right now. What I'm on right now is I'm trying to use my knack for chatting and just talking and trying to create something and make it happen. I don't really want any money or any fame or any nothing. I just want to plug the gap of the things that I want to see. I just want to provide that. That's all I'm really out here to do. Trying to bring people together, like-minded people. I'm a mastermind like that. I like to puppeteer and try and get people to work together, and so that I can see stuff growing. That's it, innit? Really? Yeah. Go for it.
My go?
Yeah.
I'm Jez. I'm a health coach, which means that I basically help people beat disease through their diet and lifestyle. I specialise in skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, and that's it.
AK hips the veg.
Okay, he's gonna put all of that there.
I will. With that noise.
Yeah, you know.
Like now.
Yeah, I'm T. I teach and I make hair and skincare products. Pretty simple, really.
What kind of hair and skin products?
Organic and natural, no chemicals, no synthetics, no toxins, like nothing harmful, basically. Totally plant-based.
Sick.
I'm Millie. T's my husband, and we work together on the hair and skincare. The hair and skincare is also vegan. And yeah, so I work full time on that. I used to be a teacher. I am a qualified teacher, but I don't teach anymore. So I'm full time on Mrs. Millie's, and we also share a lot of information out there for people who are transitioning into a vegan lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, and how to just become vegan and live a healthier life.
Good. So we got the meat eaters, we got the vegans.
I don't eat no meat.
Yeah, no, I was doing this section.
I done told you. If you're watching this thing, I told you this youth's a bad guy still. Just listen to what we're saying.
All right, so like, simple intro. Basically, we just start a topic and then it just goes on. So I'm gonna start from this side. Yeah. What I want to ask you guys is, it's a broad one. Joe, you're here as well. Don't act like you're not here. Bring your chair quickly and come. 'Cause I know you can't stay for long, but you're Joe, man. Joe.Dash is the guy. He's the slippery one. So, what I wanted to ask everyone is, in your own opinions, what is wrong with the world? Hey, innit? You like this, innit? You like this, innit? Really?
You got what's right with it?
Yeah?
First,
Huh?
what's right with it?
You tell me, brother.
Not much. So, like, yeah, that's real broad.
People are scared. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, fear of self.
Fair.
I think they're scared of everything. General public is scared of everything. Basically, once they come through the news, they're shook of it.
Yeah.
And that's what they use. They keep people in control like that. Constant fear all the time. You get me? Of everything.
Yo, sorry to cut you. You finished?
Yeah.
Oh no! I was gonna. I thought he was gonna add to it. I thought he was just about to add to it. I thought, you know what I mean. But I was gonna say, I like the question. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant question. Like about 7-8 years ago, I would say, or more, I got asked this question somewhere, and I thought, man, I'll tell you what's wrong with the world. Started reading off a bag of things I thought was wrong with the world. But and I remember reading many years ago, a UK artist. It was in Rewind.
Name him.
No, I don't. It's not my style. It's not. I don't get. It doesn't link up me naming him. But
grab that up on Google.
It was but it was relevant because they asked him kind of a similar question, and in his answer, I remember reading it, and it was like he didn't think there was anything wrong with the world. And I read it, and I thought, nah, man, you're definitely in. They got you.
Yeah.
The hell's going on? Like, blah blah blah. There's bare things wrong with the world, yeah. And in my journey, I started learning to accept certain things. Like, you see, like, for you, we got to ask ourselves what's wrong with us, is where I'm trying to lead to. What's wrong with me? Because let me give you an example. I remember when Glenfell happened, There was a terrorist attack not too long ago. Yeah, London Bridge.
London Bridge.
You know the London Bridge thing?
What
Yeah,
did they do in
the
London
van-
Bridge? They're
van.
driving in a van
The
thing.
van,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was with a
New
friend
van
of
thing.
mine.
As well.
The van,
Yeah.
a dude with a van just
Yeah.
decided to like
Crush people.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
okay.
all over the news a few months ago, not
Yeah,
too long
yeah,
ago,
I
yeah.
don't think
And I remember a few weeks
Yes,
after
the borough,
that-
and then they jumped
Yeah,
out
the
and stabbed
borough,
up
they
a couple
jumped-
people,
yeah,
innit?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Is that the one with the fence and the changing up?
Yeah, shit, yeah.
Yeah, well, all right.
Yeah.
Let's not get lost in the thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
around that period.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but a few weeks after that, I'm with a friend of mine, innit? And I've gone to him, Ryan. You heard? We're just having a conversation. I've gone, Ryan. You heard about blah blah blah. And he was like, right, is it? He's like, he's a Rasta friend of mine. And he was like, is it? And I was like, right. And you heard about this? And he was like, no.
He don't watch the news, does he?
Man don't really, man's just out of the loop. I'm just doing my thing, you know, fam. And this is a youth, he's a younger for me, but he's a youth I look up to because I grew up with him. Do you know what I mean? And I know what good people are. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I found it aspirational in the sense that a man can only handle what he can handle, yeah? We've got 2 hands, 2 legs. If every single one of us, yeah, today went out and dedicated ourselves to our community and our world. I'm not talking about something like some, you know, you got a status on it, you got a name.
Nino
this
Brown,
guy he works
turkeys,
with blah,
turkeys
blah,
at
blah.
the,
You
yeah.
got a desk and
Turkeys
you got
at the
an
van.
office. I'm talking about the dirty homeless don that when you give him £5, he's going to buy a drink.
This is it.
But now you got to put this work into him. If we focused on this one universe, this one person, yeah, it'd probably take us more than a year. It'd take a lot all of our time and energy, is what I'm saying. But the point I'm trying to make is like, we can only change stuff if we change ourselves. Fam, is that crazy? Like, and I've realized this from the youths. I could tell my youth anything I want, yeah. But you see, the minute he sees a little thing like, rah, that ain't 100, like, it's a falling character. Do you know what I mean? And then he starts moving a certain way. Do you know what I mean? And so I'm saying, yo, there's a lot of things wrong with the world, yeah. But if you're watching this, there's a lot of things wrong with you as well. Real talk. I ain't know Jesus Christ, yeah, but you know what? That's some great works there that's been set. You know what I mean? Let's not dither about religion or whatever. You got to look inside, sort out the speck in your eye before you go around. Like, certain men are beefing with their house, their family, not talking to their brother, not talking to their mum, and you're wondering why Russia ain't talking to this person. Certain men have an argument with the most important person they love in their life, and they walk out, and then the next minute they go on, I've done it, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not special. I've gone on Instagram and posted up Trump talking some blah blah blah. Look at how he's moving.
Yeah.
Nah, cuzzy, look how you're moving. Do you know what I mean?
Imagine.
So that, I think
Cakes
that was a
enough.
brilliant question, yo.
Fucking A, that.
There's a lot wrong with the world, but it's because we a bunch of messed up individuals. You know what I mean? When we was little, we was watching cartoons with people shoot with man.
Let me
man.
ask you a quick side
Feel
question,
me?
yeah? Because of what you've said, you've given an elaborated thing. What is the world to you? What does the world mean? When I say what's wrong with the world, what comes to your mind when I say the world?
The world is you without TV and the internet, my bro. The internet is a virtual world. I remember when I watched Simpsons, sometimes I get lost in the sauce. I wake up, the first thing I do, check my messages, check my phone, you know what I mean? Communicate with my auntie, my mum, my brother, my sister, my family, my kids, whatever. Go on the internet, talk to people I don't know, read a couple comments about stuff they said. I don't even know these donuts. When I go look on the thing, I'm saying, rah, fam, you're a real donut. Why am I even worried about what you're
saying?
thinking, fam?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm trying to say? So
Distraction.
it's like the world has grown bigger. But there was a beautiful Simpsons episode where Homer went through the internet and he came into, I remember, if you remember, back in the day, yeah. And it shows you a cartoon world going into the real world.
Oh shit,
So let's flip and bounce it. We're in this virtual thing with Homer and all these graphics and thing, yeah. Look, the real world is here right now. Without my phone, without my blah, 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 this is what I'm seeing right now, yeah. If I can't help around here, what am I going to do when I get out into a bigger platform? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So the world, obviously, we are connected to the world, yeah? Let's put out good information. Let's do positive things, because you could touch people all over the world through the power of technology. But at the same time, man's got to fix, we got to tend our gardens, innit? Yeah, man's got to fix what's at home, innit? And that's the only reason, that's the only way. I see the world. That's
What
how I
they
see
say,
the
charity
world.
starts at home, innit?
Yeah.
Ivy, what's wrong with the world?
A lot of what Kate says I agree with. It does come from within. But it's like what you were saying about the internet and the environment that we're in. How can your world be maintained if there's so many things around you trying to take you away from that focus, away from yourself? So a lot of it is what's wrong with the world is there's things there put in place to stop you being who you are at the greatest level that you can be.
That's right.
You know, and it's conversations like this that need to be expressed
That's
because
right.
people need to see it for what it truly is.
That's right.
At the end of the day, we've just created ourselves. If you look at the computer, it's just like the brain. And it's just like what you're saying, this virtual world that we live in. This is the true power, and we have it, but we're giving it away. Because a lot of people, they say, you know, we're the observer. But it's like when you use the computers, you're like...
The participant.
Yes. So it's grounding yourself. For me, that's what I need. The energy that I feel, especially in this country, going to different countries is not good.
Bad
Especially...
energy, boy. Everyone knows that though. As soon as you hit that
But you get caught in it.
know,
It's like
innit?
a trap.
Yeah.
You haven't got the cage. You haven't got the chains on you, but it's a trap.
But we've got unlimited powers, right? We have. Do you accept that?
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful test. I think it's a beautiful test.
You said this before, still.
You know what,
I
I like that you said it like
I
that.
think this is a beautiful test. I think, like, look, we've got a lot of work. I remember bantering with a friend of mine. He was saying the English language is bad, and I said, yeah, bro, I get that. He said it was made of all different languages and spells and blah blah blah. I said, I get that, but you see, in my language, we've got aka, hand, uku, foot. I'm shying off now.
Yeah.
Shying off. I don't know.
Bilingual.
Shying off. Like that one. But say nothing yet. But we've only got one word for one thing.
Okay, yeah.
Got one word for that thing.
Yeah.
Seen in English language,
There's multiple different
you got
words.
glasses, you got spectacles,
Specs, you got lenses.
shades, you
and-
got it goes deep. It gets
Stunners.
so descriptive. But I think that's a beautiful thing in the sense, if we want to make it a metaphor now, if we go to another country, the beach is lovely, the people are blessed. It's nice for me to escape like that. When I come back here, I know I got work to do. I got to get back into this matrix with all these things. But then we're lucky, we're here. Look, great minds think alike, or connect in it, or whatever in it, or let's not go in the ego thing. Similar, birds of a feather. Birds of a feather. So we're having these conversations because we know. So when we go out into the world, the real world, we have to move like we know, and that's what's bunning us.
That's
because
what it is.
certain times we fail because we know, and there's a certain way. I don't know about no one else. I can only speak for myself. Like certain times I'm driving, someone cuts me up. I'm swearing at the car. The car's long gone, bro. I'm thinking to myself, big man thing, cakes, big cakes. You're moving like little cakes right now, fam. He's gone about his business. Why are you?
You're still fuming, like proper fuming.
I'm
Flapping.
talking about energy in the world.
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Do you know?
And then you get
But you're
road rage
only
in the
human.
car.
You're gonna make
I
mistakes.
know,
You're
I
gonna allow your
But
emotions
you
to sometimes get the better of you,
but
especially me
that's
being
like
a woman.
school. You're right, but that's like school. You must learn from your mistakes. Otherwise, you shouldn't move up to the next class.
At the same time, I think that makes man human and real though.
Of course.
That you can't just always thing, innit?
Of course.
Sometimes
Is that what humanity is?
In a sense.
Not being able to control yourself?
No.
Losing control?
But that's not losing.
Is that
No,
humanity
maybe
though?
it depends on the
Or is
person,
that...
maybe it depends on your journey and where you've been. Because if you've been used to that, like for me, I used to snap and be angry all the time, and that was normal for me, innit? So me going and being who I am now and talking to everyone and being nice and real, like I'm still finding it hard to relay information to people. Do you get it? But I know what I know. Do you get it? But it's like, I'm screwing, man. It's like, why are you looking at me like that for, bro? But I'm not at that level. Like, yo, like, brother, oh God. And I'm still like, what's wrong with man?
I'm programming yourself.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
what
where
it
I'm
is.
at.
It's
I'm
the
programming
But
myself.
when you say talk about unprogramming yourself, that means you were programmed in the first place.
Yes.
So that means that program is foreign to who you should be.
Yes.
So you're just returning to your humanity if you deprogram yourself, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I
That
think
makes
like
sense.
one of the major problems is like people are literally like walking, talking contradictions.
Yeah.
So what happens is you behave like you're something else in front of a group of people. Like for example, you lot don't know me. I could just act like I'm this total different person, like super educated, all of this stuff. but then go home and like play PlayStation all day, or like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, do some crap like put makeup on, or
Yeah,
yeah, he does play.
Shots fired. I see the shots there. I see that. Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. 10 minutes in this.
I know. I got the team there for you, man. Slide side. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Or you know,
But
do
yeah.
some mindless
Yeah,
activity,
yeah.
like nothing that makes me grow, whatever, etc. And I just think that social media has a massive part in this as well, because you meet people online, and honestly, this has happened to me so many times, and then you go and meet them in real life.
And they're
like,
not
for
the
example,
same.
This is the first time I'm meeting
Yeah,
you. I've
yeah,
known
yeah.
you on social media for ages.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I'm meeting
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
but straight away, within 5 minutes of
You
knowing
know,
you,
like,
I'm
yeah.
like, that's the same guy.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know what I mean? He's not.
You
like,
can
I'm-
pick
I'm
up
cool to
certain
sit
things,
here
yeah.
and do this with him because it's the same guy as what he was online.
Yeah.
But so many people are like talking contradictions because they pretend to be a certain way, and
It's
then
a
when you
fake
meet
persona,
them,
innit?
Do we not all?
Like,
Do we not all put up? Do we not all put up fake personas? Don't we need fake personas?
But I think
To
it
an
goes
extent.
with what Mr. Cakes Kipling's
Yeah.
was saying about
Vegan cakes, by the way.
concentrating on yourself. Yeah, exactly. No dairy vegan
Yeah,
cakes.
yeah. Shit.
Is that working on yourself?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, for example, if you are changing something rather than like pushing something down someone's throat, like I could sit here and talk to you about the red meat and all of this craziness for like 7 hours, but then if I go out there and say that I'm vegan, but then go out there and like indulge in red meat, then do you know what I mean? I'm being fake to myself as well. So you just gotta like be the change you want to see, basically. So I want to like, you know, make sure that people are healthy, etc. I believe that meat is not good for you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it out there, but in my life and the way I live. Show it rather than talking about it so much and shoving it down people's
Lead by
throats.
example, innit?
Exactly. And I noticed this because
That's
of
where the fear comes in. Too
Yeah.
many people are afraid. Like, I love Bruce Lee's quote, when you know better, you should do better. And a lot of people know, especially talking to the older generation, they'll turn around and tell you, yeah, I know about this, or I've heard about that.
So why don't you do it?
So why didn't you do something
Do you
about
think
it?
that comes down to like
That's
responsibility?
just the way it was.
I was like that with tap water.
People
It's
are
the
scared
illusion.
I
about-
knew, but I've known forever that tap water is full of shit. Everyone had mums and that boiling water and putting it in there. So we all knew there was something wrong with tap water, yeah? However, it wasn't until this year that I actually said, if I refuse to drink any water from a tap, I refuse to steam any vegetables or anything with tap water. Like, I've just boycotted it, and oh my god, I felt a mad difference. So once it is true. Once you implement what you know, and you take that step from just knowing something to actually living it and becoming that thing that you know, that is the way forward. But still, do you think that is what's wrong with the world? Because I think most people don't know what's right.
Well, listening to, like, especially a lot of what Cake said, like, I don't think there is anything wrong with the world.
Cool.
I think it's the whole yin and yang, because without the fuckery, can you swear? on
Yeah,
this?
you can fucking swear. You can swear what the fuck you want.
Subtitle that.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But like, without
Carry the
all
fuck
of the
on.
madness and the craziness going on, like, you wouldn't be able to like make the choice or do something about it. And I feel like when you do things, or when you change your mindset, you start seeing the world in a totally different way. And they love to, I say they, well, whatever,
We know.
whoever's in control of the illusion, Hollywood and all of that, they like to blend what we call reality with illusion. So people can't tell the difference anymore. So we live in a backwards world when...
where it's supposed to be, what's it? It's supposed to be life, the art imitating life, but it's like life is imitating the art.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
And they've literally flipped everything. So now when you have to change, like, that's the most natural thing in the world. Yeah, everyone wants this illusion of comfort. And I don't, like, they love illusions, illusion of security, illusion of
peace,
comfort, this, that and the other. It's like some people turn around and be like, oh, until there's a ring on my finger, I can't do blah, blah, blah. It's like, but
Shots
what
fired, shots fired. I'm just calling it shots fired.
She weren't bad, actually. But like, and so, but I'm like, but what does that, like, how does that change something in your head or provide something? It's an illusion, because we know that the statistics show that more marriages fail.
But is it an illusion, or is it what they like to say is symbolic? And we do deal with symbolism, innit, right?
I
So
think
so a ring is symbolic to say, yeah, you said all this, but I actually mean it by giving you something to.
Yeah,
I don't
obviously
know.
I
that's
think
the
they're trying to
symbolism, yeah,
show
but-
you
yeah.
kind of, because like, look how crazy it's got. Like, you should be able to look at it and be like, nah, that's just not something I want to do, follow, buy into. It's like a lot of the music I hear people listen to. Then I'm like, when you break it down, is that what you want to be listening to?
Yeah.
And that's so I wonder, but everyone's out there celebrating on Friday, Saturday, like they're not going back to the same thing next Monday.
Yeah.
Tuesday,
So
Wednesday.
then why don't we just break that cycle?
Yeah, but-
Living for 2 days.
So everyone's too scared. They're too scared to change up their diet.
Yeah,
They're
but a
too
lot of
scared to
people
try
as well,
something
they
new.
Why do you think
want to
that
go
is?
out on Saturday, Friday night because that's the only way they're coping with the reality that they're living in. They need to get
But
pissed. They need to get
They
high.
choose
They
that,
need to
yeah,
wind
they
up their
do.
blood
They do
clot.
choose that,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Sometimes you just
Wind
need
up
to
the
let
blood
loose.
clot.
It's fine.
That's you issue. Why not the blood
Some
clot?
people won't even get out of bed on that other side
Yeah.
just to change something up in their life because like their life's pretty much a repeat.
Repetitive.
Yeah.
So
So
you
like
gotta like
Groundhog
break
Day.
it, like wake up an hour earlier.
There's
or
comfort in that though,
read
isn't it?
a- read one
Repetition.
page or like just do
Yeah,
something.
do something
Exactly,
different, yeah.
repetition's comfortable, and then when you have a social circle that indulges in the negativity, so it's like, yeah, I've got that as well, and then gossiping and bitching, and that's terrible and that's terrible, and no one actually doing nothing about all this stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
You just stay in the same position, and life just stagnates, and then
Yeah.
so
And then
die
you're
in
old
life.
and then you're done.
Stagnant
Most
or
of man's
scale,
relationships
my
are
bro.
broken down around man as well because I don't roll in the same circles I used
This
to.
is
And
it.
like I'm not the cleanest eater. I'm not. Do you get me? Like I still indulge in certain things. And I think I'm just being selfish in it. Like I know they're bad for me, but certain times I'll be at grandma's and she's cooking and it's just that nostalgia in it.
Yeah,
All this comes
yeah.
back to me
You
and
said
I'm
this
like,
to me. You said this to me
Subconscious
still.
mind, that memory
Brings
of
back
it.
memories,
And
yeah.
that's it.
me, I'm a very family oriented person.
No.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know grandma loves cooking for us.
Yeah.
Like when I turn down grandma, say, why I stop eating that and I'm trying to explain it to her, but then it's like, you know what? All right, cool. Just give me a little piece of chicken, and I'll do that. It's a bit silly, but sometimes it's that, and I feel like people around me in my circles and that I've done the change, and I feel like a bit of a loner certain times. Cause it's like I'm doing these things, and it'll be easier for me if I had the man them doing it with me. But it's like them man are so comfortable in their bubble, and with the bullshit that they're getting here, there, and everywhere, that they're not on it.
It's how people feel when they're the only one that smokes now, isn't it? They're the only one that smokes cigarettes outside, and everyone's, "Are you coming for a fag?" Like, nah, you're cool. And they're just isolated. Yeah. You like me now. Like I used to like. I get to a point where when I used to smoke like weed and cigarette, I'd get to a point where I've run out of cigarette. I might be like at studio with Blem or something, or here, and I'm out on road, and I'm like, "Oh mate, you got spare cigarette?" And I realise now more people I ask don't have cigarette. So that's showing me that the trend is changing in the thing, but I still was clinging to it, and nothing anyone else said would change that until I got to a point where it's like I'm sick of doing the same thing. I know cigarette's bad.
That's where it comes
I'm
in
sick of
because
it.
you quit it and your circle. It's like you grow
Change,
together or
yeah.
grow apart. The people that
Yeah.
smoke still stay with people that smoke.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's
yeah,
cigarettes
yeah.
in their
Yeah,
world
yeah,
now.
it's definitely
There's
changed
always
things.
someone
Yeah,
to get.
yeah.
You're out of that, so
Yeah.
you don't see it no more.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where
yeah,
the
yeah.
It's
perception
perspective.
starts
It's
to
once you
change.
come out of it,
Yeah,
you can see
like-
things from like even going back to the original question now. Now
Yeah.
that we've all spoken, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, right, maybe there is nothing wrong with the world,
Yeah.
and maybe I can see what's wrong with it because I'm out of it and I can see all the fuckery and all the people feeding everyone bullshit. So I'm looking at it like, raw, there's bare things wrong with the world. Whereas before, 5 years ago, when man was doing bits and bobs on the road and that, my world was fine. 'Cause I was popping bottles and I had bare gallon. Man was eating steak and lobster.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Lobster, yeah, lobster.
Life was nice then.
The cockroaches of the sea.
Like, life was nice, and now I
Ah,
look at my little brother.
under
I'm
the
like,
sea.
Without
And then-
TV, there's no way that we would have thought, yeah, let me grab that and munch it.
Yeah, it's true.
Without TV, like,
No, but you
it's
see,
beautiful, man.
when now that like what you just said, yeah, I still stand firmly because now I can even go deeper and go, okay, yeah, there's a lot wrong with the government. You know, that's not really the world.
I would
You know
say,
what I mean?
yeah,
This specific-
it was a loaded question, Cakes, here, because I knew what I was going to say when everyone said it was, all right, cool. Now do you see the difference between the world and the earth?
Okay.
You understand? Because the world isn't the earth. The earth is the land and whatever we live on. The world is the idea, the social. It's almost like the ego of the earth. Yeah, there's Cakes, who you are, whatever your name is, and then there's Cakes, and then there's who you think you are. So the world, the earth is the earth, how it is, and then the world is how we perceive it, and the things that go on in it. if that makes sense. That's how I see it anyway, yeah? So,
Because
I can
everyone's
agree with
world
that.
can be
Yeah.
different in
Yeah.
terms of how they manifest
Yeah.
their life as well. I
I've
believe.
got
it changes as
a
you go.
motto where I'm like, same plane or same planet, different world.
different world.
Like,
Yes.
Same.
But we've got different worlds.
Yeah, so it's how you see your world. Yeah, I think the world's a beautiful place right now, you know what I mean?
Because in hindsight, when I look at my past life,
Yeah.
like from 5 years ago, like
Pre-T.
yeah, pre 5 years
Pre-T,
ago.
pre-T.
Yeah, pre-teen. Literally
Yeah.
pre-teen. I thought you said pre-teen.
Nah.
I was like, no, it was a bit after that. But yeah, like in hindsight, then at that point in my life, I was like you were saying, like, oh my God, my life is so good. Finished university, got a job. I'm going out all the time. I'm going on holidays with my girls. Life is so amazing. And then I met T, and then I was like, oh my God, like what am I
What
doing
have I been
to
doing?
myself?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What am I doing? What's going on? And then reading and blah blah blah, and just getting into it. Now in hindsight, that
weren't a good look,
that
yeah.
great
Good world,
world.
yeah.
Now what I'm manifesting
Is better.
is the
Wholesome
world I
and it
wanna be
feeds
in,
you.
like,
Yeah.
being in this group right
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
do you
yeah.
know what I mean?
It's where that's brought you to
it's
places like this.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's real, man. That's
Raising that vibration.
Yes,
Hey.
exactly.
So in the world, you all think that there's nothing wrong with your own personal worlds, but when we look at, let's move from the world and let's look at society.
Yeah.
Can we move it forward like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find there's anything wrong with society?
Many things.
Huh?
Backwards.
Yeah, many things.
Everything.
Let's
about
share them, man.
backwards.
Because let's
It's
share
what he's
them.
saying in a nutshell, because that's what he's saying in a nutshell. There's so many things wrong with it, but it's kind of like backwards. For example, I don't know, like you see like kids, yeah. All right, let me give you an example, yeah. You got, I was born in Nigeria, mate. When you're in primary school, at the end of the when you were in school, at the end of the year, you do a test, innit? You better pass the test, otherwise you stay in that year. Do you know what I mean?
You literally staying in that
You
year
stay in the year. When I basically
for another year.
Fam, listen, you stay in that year for as long as you need to pass until you pass that test. But Nigeria, yeah, that being said, like a lot of African countries, sadly, is corrupt, openly corrupt. Yeah, so if your child is dumb, you could bribe the teacher and they'd pass him in some places. But let's say that wasn't exist in places where that you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You're going to stay in that year, isn't it? Yeah. So what I'm trying to say to you is, in school here, you do a test and you get a U.
Yeah.
It's not even an F, fam. It's not even a G. It's not even a gosh.
Might
Wow,
as well be
man. G for gosh, fam. What I got? Man got a U. Yeah. And then they like, I'm not saying like there's something wrong with the U. There's nothing wrong with the U. Maybe you just don't understand your dumb educational system. Maybe
the
let's
way you
find
set up
another
it,
way
yeah.
to train him
Yeah.
because he's getting used and he's not going to keep moving up here. But what it is, they'll put you in the next year. You see how they dumb you down, and the next year they put you in the next year, and you're getting used. And at the end of the year, at the end of your 5 years or whatever, they tell you you're a failure. I think like the education system, if you start analysing certain things within it as brilliant, like free. Look, I come from a society where you got to pay for education. You got to pay to take your kids to school. If us lot had to pay to send our kids to school, a lot of kids won't go to school.
Homeschool for you, man.
What homeschool? Kids
You get
ain't going
homeschool.
school. My parents ain't teaching man no homeschool.
You get
Do
yourself
know
a
what I mean?
part-time job,
It's
I bet you
cheaper,
wanna go
it's
to
more
school.
expensive. Do you know what I mean?
How backwards is this? I hear parents saying, "Oh, my child can't read or write," and blame it on the school.
So what are you waiting for?
Exactly.
What was you waiting for?
Exactly.
Someone else
What
to
have
do
you been
it.
doing?
What
Like,
have you been
crazy.
doing? Exactly.
Everyone gives
Again,
off their
responsibility.
responsibility.
Exactly.
No one wants accountability
Exactly.
or responsibility.
But do you know what?
I think that's what it's there for,
I
though.
can't. So I
That's
can't say that
the
no one wants
education
it.
system, though.
If anything, I feel like it's built to take away
what I was
responsibility
about to say.
from the individual on purpose.
Yeah.
to-
So they
to-
can do whatever they want.
to
with you.
disempower.
You get me?
Yeah. So
like
now, if I want to
smacking
take my child on holiday, I'm
get a
facing a
fine.
fine.
Yeah.
Or you're telling me he's got to be in at these days.
But
It's
you've
like,
gone
whoa,
to school
hold
and
on.
the teacher
Whose
ain't
is
in
it?
for
It's
2
my
weeks.
you get me?
And there's a
Well,
couple.
you know what I'm trying to say?
But I get, do you like the educational system? Do you believe they teach like history and all of that?
No, it's
And
bad.
why would you put your child in that
This is-
system?
yeah.
That's
I would
what
never
you
do
think,
that
that's
again.
what
I
you
would
think.
never, ever
That's what you've
put
been
my
told
child.
That's
to
where it
do,
starts.
and that's
Yeah.
what people don't go against
Now, let me
it.
show you
And
why.
it's fair.
People,
It's fair.
if you homeschool your child, it's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
how could you
What
do
are you
it?
doing
You know,
now?
How's he gonna
I
socialize?
met a woman recently, and her son approached me, and he was a lovely boy, so intelligent. And then I found out that he was homeschooled, and I had a conversation with his mother, and she was saying, you know, I'm not really educated, but the example in her son was just like, wow. And for me, it was just like, I can do that. I can actually do that. I don't have to play like I just
You have
don't
to play
believe-
by the rules
You
that they
don't
want
have
you
to
to
play by the
do.
rules. You
more
make your
people,
rules.
it inspired you.
Yeah, of
Saw
course,
someone
yeah,
and you're like,
examples,
I can
yeah.
do it too. And
Yeah.
And you
we
see the
need
thing
to
about the
be the
homeschool,
example.
yeah? If you can homeschool your youth and you can do it well, by all means, yes, please.
But do it better than the school. Look at what they're doing.
No. I probably could. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not
Well,
gonna
you
hype
can't.
myself
No,
up.
I don't believe
But then
anybody
people
could
don't
do
have
worse
time.
than
People
what
don't have
they're
time. They have to go
doing.
to work.
I don't. Even if you just got them learning in life.
No, I'm
doesn't-
not gonna lie. I've
This
met,
is- that's what I'm
I've met
saying.
some parents who they need school themselves.
And this is-
They can't homeschool their kids. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know people where he'd pull me to the side and say, "Cuz, help me write that
I
out."
think if you take your child out, sit them
There's
on a
ways,
bus and
man.
let them see things, or
The
take them
world.
to your
They'll
job
learn.
with
Yeah.
them.
Of course.
Count how many
I want to
red
address,
cars.
Yeah, like,
bro.
little-
I want to address. I want
We
to.
tried-
I don't
we
want to
tried
get lost
making
in the source because I
difficult
want to
and
address your
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, you're right. I agree with that. But at the end of that year, the government is going to send you a test to check that you're homeschooled.
Oh, yeah.
There's
You can't just
yeah.
a
little.
You still have to do certain things.
Yeah, yeah.
They're trying to make it harder, right?
Yeah,
They're trying to make it
it's not
harder.
like-
And they got Ofsted regulate your
Yeah,
thing,
you got
innit?
a test. Then you got to do the
Now,
test.
they have
If
to
you're
off-
homeschooling your child, Ofsted will.
What are you
Of
mad?
course. What, you think you can just take your youth out of school and
Ofsted,
do what you want?
you know what Ofsted do?
It's
And
not
they either do a
mad
home
test.
visit.
It's not a mad test.
They do either do a home visit or a meeting in a neutral
I don't wanna
place,
gas it up, yeah.
and they can come to your house and
Fam,
test
I don't want to
pop up,
gas
they
it
can
up
pop
though.
up.
I don't
for
want-
what do you get, health and safety.
checks.
Make sure your house is.
Yeah, but I don't
is,
want to gas it up. The dude working for Ofsted's just a brother like me.
Yeah.
innit? On the day where he's meant to come, he ain't trying to come visit your house, man. Man's just trying to have his thing. You know what I mean?
stay there.
No. Well, listen, hear what I'm trying to say. I know man who homeschool their kids.
Yeah.
It's not as nuts.
It's not nuts. I know it's not
what I'm
nuts.
trying to say,
Yeah,
what we're doing now is we're kind of putting off people who might want to homeschool.
No.
their kids.
I'm trying to promote them still. But you got to tell them the truth,
No,
bro.
what I'm trying to say, cuz, what I'm to beg
But
you,
the
let me
tests are only
land,
basic
let me
maths
land.
and
man.
Nah, he's on this let me land thing. He's on this let me land. Make sure you don't crash.
Yo, no, man, don't crash. God's my pilot, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Hey!
What one?
God is my pilot.
No, my God, the reason I'm here, but we can't talk about that because it's just what I know, innit? But let's talk about what we are talking
Cakes to
about.
that.
Yeah? Let's talk about what we are talking about.
Yeah.
What was I trying to say?
We're putting off people from homeschooling.
Yes, look, I know you weren't initially, but what I'm trying to say, when we started talking about, Ofsted can pop to your house and blah, 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 there might be some people thinking, yeah, I want to homeschool my youth, but I ain't trying to get Ofsted pop into my house.
But they got to deal with the reality of
let me
what's...
say this, innit, yeah? What I'm saying, it's not as mad, if you're watching this, it's not as mad. I heard, I don't homeschool my youth, innit? But I heard it's not that nuts. So if you want to homeschool your youth, by all means, go ahead, innit? But what we're talking about, yeah, I'm saying, check this.
My son is homeschooled,
You
so I'm
can't just
speaking
take
from
your
experience
kids round
still.
Greenwich and in the park and go on the bus and blah 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 and say you're homeschooling your youth. At the end of the year, Ofsted's going to send you a test, and they're going to check that the kid is doing what he's meant. It's not a mad test.
Yeah.
You should
It's
be
not
able to do
crazy,
it.
yeah.
But here's what I'm
But
trying to
that's
say.
it. You said YouTube. How many times we could type in Beyonce, Justin Bieber, all this, type in ABCs and sit your child in front of them?
Yeah.
There's so many
But
teachers.
Yeah, you,
The
yeah.
kids are in front of the
hit a
YouTube,
point.
but
So
what
you,
is
yeah, what they want,
madness?
Bro, I want to hit a
Madness.
point.
They're watching dip in a man's face. Yo, turbulence. It's just turbulence.
How long is the flight? Man's trying to fly
EasyJet.
in 2 hours.
It's just turbulence.
Concorde has not done that.
Say, man, it's just turbulence.
I'm saying, yeah. What I was trying to say.
These nuts are so disgusting.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
Nah, yeah, boom, check.
Who's your
Yeah.
caterer?
Who's me?
Yeah. I'm trying now. No, it's not. You ain't gonna apologize. I'm trying to catch my breath.
Sorry.
I'm trying because you just made a point and I was trying to address it. You just said something and I was just
YouTube?
Oh yeah, boom, the YouTube thing. Boom, yeah. It's not as simple as that, and that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, because for example, you can't just give your kid and say. You can't just give your kid say, oh yeah, YouTube, read YouTube and.
Sorry, carry on. No, carry on.
Mad host, you know.
I'm not a host.
Mad host.
I'm not a host.
Man's
Yeah.
in the middle of the thing, all distracting, man.
Please
He's
give Anna a
flashing
chair, please.
lasers at the plane. The plane's trying to land, cuz. You hear what I'm trying to say? Yo, check what I'm
This plane
saying.
ain't ever landed.
No, check what I'm saying in a nutshell, yeah. Look,
Malaysian
yeah.
Airlines.
Check what I'm saying.
Nah, man's
about,
taking a
look,
bit
look,
out.
look, about the school thing, yeah. About the
Missing
school
flight.
thing. About the school thing, yeah. It's so easy to say to man. This is what I should have said in a long time ago, but I know people don't even know. You know what I mean? Man, them know how to discuss or whatever. You know what I mean? They just butt in and blah blah blah. But check this out, yeah. It's so easy to go. Oh well, why don't you homeschool your youth? Because it's so easy for me to go, I've done this before, why don't you just fill out that form? And then you give a man a pen and then you realise he can't fill out that form. Or then you say, oh, why don't you just do that? Look, if you can homeschool your youth, by all means homeschool your youth. But we're addressing what's wrong with society, and I'm trying to land. So I brought up the school thing to show you what's wrong with society as an example, innit? Yeah? I'm saying, you see the way the school thing's set up. If your youth don't go to school, for example, they'll fine you. If you're homeschooling your youth, and they send you a test and you don't really pass it, there's an issue there. Look, the other day you said about YouTube, I gave my son's goes on YouTube by himself. Yeah, he's only 5. He's gone on there. He likes watching mechanics and engineering things. So he's gone on there and he's watching about buses and things or whatever, and he just watches it. But then 15 minutes into a 45-minute tape on YouTube, the man who's doing the commentary starts saying all kinds of swear words and nasty stuff. Could you imagine? It's a youth thing. It's a thing to teach youths. It's like Dora and all them things. Really? There's things on YouTube. Listen, be careful.
Dodgy things.
Be very careful with YouTube and your kids. Like I've been watching like a cartoon with my youth before. Yeah, he's watching it. The thing's just playing, and then like 10 minutes into the cartoon, you're hearing sexual noises. You with me? So you can't just go, oh, give your kid the YouTube thing.
Yeah, you got to monitor. Yeah, you got to monitor. But this is another thing. Because don't swap your.
No, I'm not saying. No,
don't swap your teacher. Don't swap your teacher for YouTube.
I'm not saying.
But then you're still giving up responsibility.
No. But then let's check it. So let's do the teacher. So let's do the teacher's job.
Let's watch YouTube with him.
No. Let's do the teacher's job. The teacher's job's not that easy. Not everyone can homeschool their child, and this is the point I'm trying to make. Back home, there's schools. In our natural state, we would have our own schools. We would have a community where the kids got educated. Why don't we have that? Why is everything so individualistic?
Yeah, Kate, I agree with you. So what I'd say, what I'd say is, if you got a baby, I got babies, you got baby. Listen. So
there's no youth club.
Yeah, it's not even that. Yeah, that individual that cannot homeschool their own child needs to be supported by their family and the community. So it's like we got community schools. I'm down for community schools. A community school is different from that mainstream school where it's fuckery and you send off your child and they got your child for more hours of the day than you do. Get me? Your child comes to eat dinner and go sleep, and that's a bit too much. Get me? But I do agree. Like if you can't homeschool your child, but you know I can, or you know my missus can, so bring your youth to my house every day.
Yeah, of course.
It's that simple, isn't it? That's why we need to be like more community minded.
It's a lot more complicated than that. It should be. It's a lot more complicated than that.
You know what?
Because you might want to bring your child to me, but I might say to T, I don't want to homeschool his children. I want to homeschool my own.
It didn't make that selfishness of us, though, isn't it? Because it's helping your child socialize with other children.
People, you ain't gonna drop it.
But I would. You wouldn't always know them. You're gonna go there and you meet people first. The parents to go there. My mum never used to send me there, but I know there was some of my brothers and that. Their parents used to go there. It's Tabernacle, Pimento. Used to bring them all together. All the youths used to go there. And I was thinking, what are you learning there? I never used to go there. But you saying it now, it's like, brother, we used to have these things. So where have these things gone now?
They don't want that no more.
Because that all the youth clubs, everything, brother, that's what I'm saying. So society on top of that's not just that. These people are shutting us down anyway. They don't want us to go and teach our own youth anyway, because we're going to teach our youth something worthwhile, bro. Do you get it?
We'd rather go pop bottles than teach our youth.
No,
that's
but
he does what I do. When we say we, he's definitely not talking about himself, but he's not excluding himself from being part of. So we say we,
as a people.
Otherwise it looks like
okay.
I'm with you.
But yeah, this is what I'm saying. But this is where it's got to start from somewhere. I think. Like I work with the youth, like I said, little ones, and I work for 6 to 13-year-olds as well, innit? And me so much. I don't really push my thoughts on them and my thing. I'm just trying to put the little things in there, like wash up the dishes when you're finished. And I'm firm with them. I know a lot of men got it. Like, wash the dishes, bro. I'm not washing them. You better wash them. Where's your thank you? Where's your please? If you come into a room, say hello to the person you're greeting.
Of course, yes. Basic manners.
So I get things like parents coming to me and say, "Oh my God, he's changed." The little, and it's not a black woman either. It's an Arab woman. She's like, "Oh my, he went in and he washed the dishes after dinner." And for me, that's why I do what I do. That's what I'm saying. So proper school, everyone will shut that down. And they'll do everything in their power to shut it down. Do you get it? And that's
they will. Once they see you're doing things like that, I just want to you become targeted. What I know from the man them that do work in schools and work with kids and blah blah blah, when they bring their unique teaching ability or their unique way of influencing the children, and the children all run into them, other teachers that are not on that wave get hate. They get so enraged. So the next thing you know, I swear that all my bridges have been made redundant at least twice from working in. I'm telling you, at least 8 of my friends have worked in schools
and we got the same thing when we worked in a school.
Yeah, because you form a good connection.
I thought you meant got redundant. I was like,
oh, no,
that wasn't me. No, they used to,
So on another wave, if you're okay, we're talking about teaching kids and that, yeah. What is the most important lesson, in your opinions, kids need to know?
Listen, you get 30-year-old women that don't even know how to work a washing machine. Do you know what I mean?
Them kind of skills like cooking,
just like
domestic things.
Yeah, no, it don't have to be domestic. It could just be like
how to iron, how to write a check.
I think more critical thinking.
What's a mortgage?
It's like question stuff and to ask questions and to want to go out
there
and
have the
inquisitive
basics, then
to want to learn.
that is, I feel like
and
that's
it's okay to make mistakes.
What if
you reach a certain stage and you pretend to be an adult now, and for some reason you're not allowed to make mistakes, and children kind of see that and they feel embarrassed and this and that. When it's the most natural thing again. Like, it's all right to make mistakes. Even with our lifestyles, none of us really know what we're doing.
We're winging it.
Exactly. That's right.
What would you teach kids?
What would I teach them? I'll teach them to, like you said, think for themselves, and to know that nothing is out of their reach. You know, it goes back to the fear thing. You know, and I feel a lot of them now, they are scared to be who they truly are because they want to get likes or they want to fit in. And I was like that too, so I understand. But being a human being is not being part of a crowd. Being a human being is your experience and what you perceive this world to be. It's nothing that you will ever have with anyone else. And I think that goes to, you know, like relationships. Like people are like kind of obsessed with being with other people and they're not realizing the damage that can actually do to you. So, you know, it's
socialness and the whole social thing and being in a group and being part of something, but they don't teach the individuality enough. I don't think. And to expand on what you said, I think what I try to impart to children, adults, teenagers, old people, anyone that I try to show them, listen, I'm a critical thinker. I don't have to agree with what you think or how you feel or what your opinion is. I got my own thing, and that's cool. Cause me and you still shake hands and still be brethren. And if we're not brethren, that's cool too. It's fine to just think differently. So with the school curriculum, it seems like it's a mass brainwashing program to all get everyone thinking the same way.
But that's why it was created in this country.
Because I never understood why they was teaching me about Magna Rock and all these things, but now I get it. Why they was teaching me geography, to me was the deadest lesson for me. I didn't get it why you're teaching me about tectonic plates and blah blah blah. But it's because you want me to have a certain view on what the Earth is.
Well, let me ask you a question. I'm with everyone on this panel. Yeah?
Well, go for it, man.
But it's just hearing you say these things. You sound very certain, so I just want to think about this. So, like, let's say, you see, I drive over Southwark Bridge, London Bridge, whatever bridge, that bridge. And I've never thought twice about it. The bridge holds me up. I went to Wales the other day, I was on a new bridge. The bridge held everyone up, cultures, everything. Everyone going about the bridges and water. I'm saying, wow, these motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Check this, yeah? Let's say we had a mad earthquake in the UK. The bridges went, yeah? And those monuments we know are no longer there, innit, yeah? And we need people to build these bridges, yeah? I'm not saying that they don't brainwash people in school. But I like what you said. School is a very personal journey. I'll tell you why. Some people go to school and mess their whole years in school, play around, waste time, and then they come out and they go and try and start learning stuff they should have learned in school. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of good in school. You know, I just want to make that point. Yeah, I think the concept. Let me say that. I think there's a lot of good in school.
Yeah.
But it's like there's also, we need to address the obvious things that are wrong with it. Yeah. Otherwise, it ain't gonna change. Like for example, we just spoke about back in the day. I mean, in where you're teaching, they'll teach people manners. The youths not yet. Yeah, that's exactly. Sorry, that's just him. Yeah. But in school, school, they never taught me. When they never taught me that in school. I just knew that from my parents. Yeah. I'm not saying
that's
school.
the era that you're from. Because back in the day,
so
it was
I'm trying to push the same things that my mom taught me. I know your parents ain't teaching you that.
But let me hit this. Let's say a man went to school. They never taught him that. His family taught him that. The next man went to school. His family never taught him that. School never taught him that. They both go to a job 20 years later. And they both know everything for the job. But one of them's an arrogant little shit. And he doesn't understand why. Because he wasn't raised like that. And another person else is. Do you know what I mean? The point I'm trying to make to you is like, let's just do the good things in school. Let's form our own school. Yeah. And teach them what's right. Or why don't we go to school one day and call the teacher? Like I remember teacher called me, tell my son's all blah blah blah. I told the teacher, look, listen, I'm gonna have a word with my son today. And when he comes back tomorrow, he ain't gonna be on that stuff. But if I hear anyone's bullying him, I'm gonna come back and deal with you. Yeah, because we gotta be able. The teachers in school are not all the time, but a lot of the time are some of the problem because they don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of teachers and that, and I've seen that. Not even some of them are going to the school to pick up and that, and it's like some of the teachers, you could tell that they was a punk. You get me? And it's like you can't even. Sometimes I'm hearing the youth talking back. But the youth's got a point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But people don't listen to kids. People ain't listening. I've noticed when they don't want you to have opinions. And for me, like I don't really like working like adult. I can't deal with adults a lot of the time, bro. Do you get me? Because they don't really keep it real. Kids keep it real, fam. They keep it 100% all the time, fam. That's true. Do you get it? And a lot of people can't even. They just push them aside.
Man wasn't bunning out schools. No. Just to be sure.
Not fully.
But you know what? What I was bunning out? I was bunning out the curriculum and the concept, which I think is a westernized concept of education. Now, learning is one thing, and life lessons is one thing. See, when they talk about this education thing, I'll give you one example. I always talk about this. I watched one documentary one time, and I'm trying to think where these people were. They were somewhere like I know it was South America somewhere, and basically, where these people lived was like a paradise. And they lived miles and miles and miles from the city. And so this cameraman was showing how these people live. The kids are playing, they go and hunt in the bush and get their food and sit down. They were basically fruitarians. Basically just eating mainly fruit, And he had like 4 wives. And they were all sat around and they were all cooked together and blah, blah, blah. And he said, and the man started interviewing him. Life looked so sick. And the man was narrating it, saying, these guys are basically living in a virtual paradise, And he started interviewing the man, and the man said, like your life, and he said, yeah, I know, man, it is good. I'm not gonna lie, we do have lots of fun, and everyone was smiling, and all the kids was playing, but I want I want some opportunities like what they have in the cities, like they've got nice cars and that. I'd like a car, I want some things. And then he said, I would like education, and it made me think. This education thing is like a thing that is put into those other people's minds. Like, you need this to become someone in the world. When you are everything that we all want to be.
Yeah, of course.
But they think there's some magical lesson that they're going to learn, whether it's history or engineering, that's going to transport them to a next life. And what I see is it's materialism. It's the first step to materialism. You get this education, you go for that job, and then you achieve this materialistic status. So I just wanted to throw that in. Sorry, my brother. Sorry, bro. Sorry. Apologies.
Bye.
Yo, see you later, brother. Next week, yeah? Don't know.
Just said fucking up the flow.
Fucking up the flow, man. You're fucking up the bass. It's in the front.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, in a piece. Truz, next week. Sis, next week. Please. Yeah? You're giving me that Ghana answer. I tried, smiling. I tried. That means no way, motherfucker. Right. Big up, Inap. Wagwan, my brethren, Inap. Thanks for joining us. Bro, I've been trying to get you from day one, bro. I can't get you because you're a ghost. Yo. Sorry? No, they're in there. They're in the that front pocket or whatever. There's two of them there. Sorry. So, yeah, you lot are busting up the full feed for these cheap pistachio nuts.
Guys don't mind, like,
Yeah.
you know, let me just get to know everyone.
Yeah.
So Steinwich.
Yeah, sorry. Smiles, rapper, work with kids and stuff, but yeah,
Smiles, Big Cakes, Ivy, musicians, and you know, Jez. She's a health coach. This is T. He's T. What are you again? Shit. What your label is? But yeah, he's working on. He's got like vegan friendly products with his wife, and
You vegan too?
Yes.
Woo!
the vegan gang is growing.
And I'm Aina.
Yeah.
I pretty do nothing really. But, I do everything, but I do nothing.
Yeah, Einap is one of my mentors, man. He's a good dude, man.
And I'm going what you were saying about the whole raw vegan thing. It's like just give guys. Okay.
No, go on. I'm just showing you where the microphone is, so try to project your voice to it, bro.
Yeah.
Come forward as well, if you don't mind.
It was crazy. The last 3 years has just been mad, and going. You know what you're saying about like education is crazy, because I'm a medical geneticist.
Yeah.
And at the end of my course, I'm on my degree. My lecturer was telling me everything that we learn might actually be a lie. You know, that's my lecturer.
At the end of your course, he said everything we learned.
Might be a lie. Because he wrote a book called Genes in Quotes.
Genes in quotes, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so there's different schools of thought now.
I
Some
told
people are
man.
saying
But nothing's fact.
it might just
Yeah.
be that there is no such thing as a gene. Maybe you just feed from your environment and take whatever it is, and you know, based on whatever your environment is saying. And then some people are saying, yeah, but you might actually have the whole gene, but the gene might actually change. There's not one unit of inheritance passed from parent to offspring, but it might be multiple things happening at the same time, which goes back to what we know today as the spiritual realm. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's many things that's going on that even their scientists are starting to say, Wagwan, what's this all about? So if we were going to go with, like, let's use an example of the atomic theory. They're still teaching that in school still today.
Yeah. Atoms. Who was that?
And that is bullshit.
I was having.
No, but they told us in
It
school.
was me and you chatting.
Like,
They told me in school that might be bullshit. I remember my teacher told me
But-
that the atoms ain't facts.
Where's
but the
Joe
thing is,
now?
it's going to take what my lecturer was saying is, because when we was talking about, okay, you know what, the whole thing of it might not even be what it is, but the whole principle is set on a lie. Like genetics is based on the foundation of one unit of inheritance passed from parents to offspring.
Okay.
Based on Mendel's whole thing of crossing peas. Come on, peas. You're crossing peas to kind of find out what actually
Happens in a human.
happens in a human being. You get what I'm saying? A living soul. Sorry, what are you saying?
No, I'm with you.
You get what I'm saying? So
I'm just agreeing.
scientists are trying to figure things out as they're going along, and as they build on their concepts, instead of negating the old concept, which contradicts what
They try and incorporate it.
incorporate it together.
Yeah.
So now our children are having to learn that, and most people actually energetically are waking up thinking when they're getting dissatisfied with school, it's not that they're dumb. Which
Something inherently
there's
knows
something
this is
inherently knows
bullshit.
that this is just bullshit.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
now
yeah.
the way that we learn, and we're all different, in the same people that they need to move around when they're learning. So when you have one person teaching, just standing there, and everyone has to sit down and submit and listen to them, it doesn't make sense to same people. You get what I'm saying? I'd rather be actively doing something on the road, like
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
different
So
ways
even
of
though
learning.
that everything is the way I see learning is there's nothing. Everything's transferable. It's energy. You know, so it's transferable. However you look at it, but the ones that are creating the curriculum is the question now.
Yeah.
They have an agenda. So it doesn't mean that what they're teaching is wrong. It
But
just-
they teach you
they're
certain
trying-
things in a certain way for a certain reason.
Everyone
Right.
in that coming out in that machine, in it, churning them all out.
Right. You see
They're-
what I'm
they're but apparently, like the maths now, their teaching is so different from the maths when I got taught it And now I feel stupid when
Bro,
trying to answer children's maths
I'm
questions.
still trying to understand why you're telling me what X and Y's are. I've never used algebra and them things in my life, bro.
What do you use algebra in life?
No.
You use nowhere.
Not to do in school.
Sorry, my brother. Say that again.
Doing like say like aeronautical engineering, like an engineering course or whatnot, you're going to use a lot of
Algebra.
So like a lot of physics-based courses or careers. That's where you use
And
algebra,
mechanical.
but then obviously that's like a lot of things in school. It's very special. It's for very specialized things,
But then why did they teach it to everybody? If it's so,
You see what I'm saying? And not put it into use with
Right.
something.
I think
But
going
you
back
have
to
to make it better because you know schools are conveyor belt. Yeah, they're there to get you ready for like office
for the
life.
real world.
It's set up
Exactly.
in-
For the real
it's
world.
have you
To
there from
compare
9
you
to
to
5
other
work.
people.
the real world. See, the real world. See,
Let me say this. Yeah. If we lived in a village, the size of Newham, and like the history of this village was, everyone was living blissfully and whatever once upon a time, but I don't know, like blah blah blah, whatever. The village got its history in it,
right.
and we call ourselves Newham, And the youths of them are just we got dirty sewage. The youths of them are just running around doing nothing. And a man comes and says, "Boy, come, youths, come. Let's listen, blah blah blah. Teach you. Let's. What can we do to sort this out?"
Right.
And then he starts teaching them what they know, and the youth start telling them what they know. Yeah. At the end of the day, they might have the best sewage system, everything. Yeah. What I'm trying to say to you, there's a need for education, bro. There's a need. But within that,
there's a need for knowledge.
Nigeria,
of course,
There's a need for knowledge.
Right.
I think just like there's a difference between the world and the earth, there's a difference between education.
You
Listen.
talking about the education system or education?
No, because this is the thing. When we talk about education, we're in the schools wise, we are talking about the system.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
wasn't
We're not
looking
talking
at
about
it like
knowledge.
that, bro. I swear to God, I've been looking at education as in, you see, when I chat to my child and I say, don't do that, man. Last time I told, that's education.
That's a
I'm
lesson,
teaching him.
and
No,
you're teaching.
For me,
it's knowledge,
I'm not
isn't
gonna
it?
lie to you. When man's been talking all like this, I'm saying the teachers. I've got very good teachers in school. I went to a very bad school, but till now I quote Father Mark. I still quote certain man.
Did you go to St. Thomas?
No, St. Joseph's, Blackheath, Green Blazers, Lewisham.
Oh, is
St.
it?
Joseph's,
Oh,
you know.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
St. Joseph's
You know what I mean?
Academy.
It was a crazy, it was a bad school. Yeah.
South.
But still, within that, there were some people that managed to educate me very properly. Miss Bouger called me to the side one day and said, "You know what, Henry, you're very smart. Yeah. Why don't you divert some of this energy you're wasting that way and just put it in some of your artwork?"
But
You
that's
pass.
one person.
No.
I
But
had that conversation with some
but that's
teachers.
one person.
Do you know what I mean?
I had that
That's
conversation.
me.
Was that a black teacher?
No, white woman.
Same
Hit
thing.
it, the
White woman.
You fucked me
White
up
woman.
still, you fucked me up.
White woman. When I left school, when we
Yeah.
left school, we heard one of the games teacher was touching kids, apparently, and it was a black man. So that like
Yeah, I had a
really
black man
white,
in my
black,
school that
blah
was
blah
touching-
blah. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, at the end of the day, school is school and the world is world.
He used to have break time lessons and that.
I think we need like right now. This is education, bro. I'm learning from you. I didn't like when you said the stuff you just said. I never heard that before.
I think that there's a difference between education and indoctrination.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
But they're
Okay.
doing that through the education system.
Right,
Yeah.
because the system is trying to gain you conformity to the system.
Of course.
They're not trying to expand
trying to
your
educate
energy.
you.
Not trying to create.
Trying to
I think
educate you.
To the point they're even
mixed up
saying
the
it
words,
themselves.
though.
You know? They're even saying it themselves that we need more free thinkers.
Right. To indoctrination, because the schools aren't
The school ain't
education.
Yeah.
man.
They're
They're lying
not.
to man.
They're indoctrination systems.
Once you
You're right.
separate the words, then you can start to have the convo that's
So
more
now,
meaningful.
based
Yeah,
on,
okay,
now,
cool,
based
yeah,
on what
let's
both of
separate
you
the
are
words.
saying now,
Yeah.
I agree with you. In fact, but it's more like the way I see it is, you see the water you're drinking, yeah? If I put a little tiny worm inside of that water and I shook it up and I said 99.9% clean, will you drink it?
No, it's like the shit sandwich analogy. You can't do it.
No, you can't drink it
No.
because you saw me put that worm in, even though you can't see it after I put it inside. So that's what they've done. They've created a system. It works for them because as a medical geneticist, I could have pursued my thing and became a doctor or whatever. Yeah. How much a junior doctor earn today? 40 grand.
40, 50 bags at the least.
In a year, fam. In a year of my energy and my creativity, I put 5 years of my life studying hard. You were examining like a cattle and everything. And I get to a point where I'm only earning 40, 50 grand when an entertainer. that doesn't even know nothing about nothing can earn that in a week.
Yeah, man, keeping the
That's
ball.
what it is, though.
In a day,
it
right.
wastes your time.
That's why you got
I think on a whole, that's what it does. It wastes your time.
They show you.
So you don't spend time with the people
just-
that you're meant to and learn the things that you're meant to learn.
And with education now, I like what you said earlier on in
Okay,
terms
you're
of
not
education
teaching
is
them.
not when you speak to your child, that's education. There's many things. I could be a doctor and I can't even
You can't
fry
tell the
plantain.
truth.
Or planting for the Caribbean. Subtitles planting.
You see what you just said about the doctors? Yeah? When my daughter was born, over 10 years ago, she had eczema. We kept going, and eczema don't really come in my. Eczema is new in my family. So when I saw this thing on my daughter's thing, I'm like, right, what is this? Like, do you know what I mean? It's bugging me out. It's itching her. You know what I mean? We're trying to do the most about it. The doctors are giving us steroid creams. Blah blah blah.
No.
Touch wood. My Father bless his soul, my granddad's passed away, so we had to go back home, innit? And I've gone with the whole family. Soon as they seen my daughter back home, no, listen, my mum's like, what is this?
What's this?
Like, come, you know what?
Boom,
So,
2 leaf.
Go and bring this, blah, blah, blah.
Hey.
This person knew where that thing was.
Right.
They've gone and got it, yeah? They boiled it. My daughter had to drink it in her milk bottle, as well as in her milk, and they had to bath her with it. Bro, the poo was kind of funny for the next days after when she was on it. Like you could see something on it.
Yeah,
From
the
the
color
skin
has
come
been
out
cleansed
clean.
out.
Yeah, clean.
Parasite
clean.
cleanse. It's like these like the
So now, so I can talk what I want, because when I came back to London, the doctor's saying, here's some more cream. I'm like, all right, I see what you're trying to do.
It's a
You're
beautiful
educated
face.
fool,
It's a
or you're educated. You're a man who's set to trick
But
man.
you know what? I think a lot of the
They don't know.
doctors,
They don't know.
They know what they've learned.
They don't know. Yeah.
Because from
Exactly.
you can go to a doctor
don't know
and have the
shit.
same problem and go to a nutritionist and they tell you to
My
doctor's Google
to get me
stuff.
the nutritionist.
Yeah.
Say to you,
Yeah.
go take that, eat this.
They don't know.
My doctor's Google.
My
Take this pill.
doctor called another doctor.
The internet page.
Called another doctor and said, yeah, I've got
That's
this
even
young man,
alright.
like, you know, he says his penis is abnormally large. I'm like, no. What's wrong with you?
At the same time, though, I think they all play into each other because even like the NHS and all that, the same thing, and like the doctors, it's like they all know that they're in cahoots because the doctors only know what they.
Someone does though. Somebody does. Someone does, but not them.
I'll tell you
Someone
this right
does.
now, right? Someone that's been in that field, they're freestyling it.
Yeah.
That's why, like, literally,
bro.
because
Man's
they'll
just
be
trying to
like,
get
okay,
paid.
what are
One
the
enough, two
symptoms?
person,
And
that's what
then
guys
it's
that
okay, why don't you try this?
Bro.
And then afterwards say, why don't you try this? And eventually now they might come to a conclusion or whatever. And
Process of elimination, right?
Yes.
And that's
what
trial and error.
I'll tell you,
Making
because
mistakes.
most times
Yeah,
when
but
you
it's
see
the
when you see
Western
these
medicine
doctors,
that's the
yeah,
problem.
This is what it is.
It's not
it's
based
like
on things
I
that's
was,
not
I just had my son. Yeah, so
Congratulations as well.
Congrats.
It's like I ain't seen you, man.
Yeah,
Congrats, man.
I think
Big up to the sister as
But I'll
well.
tell you something, it's like
Vaccinate him.
absolutely
Nah,
not.
no way.
What? Are you mad? I'll be surprised if his child's registered, bro.
Why you want me to put the virus into my child so I can prevent my child from
having a virus?
That doesn't make any
But
sense.
soon they're gonna make that illegal. So
Fam,
some people-
yeah, social services will get involved.
But the thing is, no, that's where
No, it's
I'll
not
give you
there
my
yet.
story.
It's not
Fam,
there. No, they-
it is.
no,
When
they-
by the time they go to school, yeah, they're saying.
I know man that's gone through this shit and their kids ain't vaccinated. At the end of the day, we live in a society, they make it's like when the bailiffs come to your door.
Right,
you don't even really have to open the
Right,
door
yeah,
to
yeah,
them,
yeah.
but the way
They
it's
twang it and
set
it's
up,
just-
the way
yeah,
the
yeah,
letter is,
yeah.
your heart's beating, saying, no, I can't homeschool. I
They
can't
chat-
this,
yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
They kind
They
of
chat
make
to you
it
in a way
hard
where
work.
they-
Even little things like you're entitled to. Like you might be entitled to a little something, but you got to fill out that form. On that form, you got to use black ink. Yeah.
Not blue
You have
ink,
the
not
thing with
yeah.
a blue pen. You're like flipping. I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
trying to put you off and all these.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
won't
yeah.
accept forms if you write in red.
Yeah.
They won't.
Because
There's a reason,
Because
though.
you write as your man,
As your
being,
man, not
and
your-
they can't
they can't,
do that
yeah.
because they're after your person.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
So they're trying to
legal,
attach you to
yeah.
legal fiction.
Like, yeah,
legal fiction, yeah.
literally.
That's another side.
That's what.
No, that's
So
what
basically,
I don't know what that.
this
why they
is
say
exactly
right
what
now,
it is now.
Feel free,
Many
man.
people are afraid of what they don't know. That's why they
of course.
capitalize on that.
The fear.
So the fear aspect of it now is like, for instance, now I gave birth to my child myself.
You gave birth to
To
your
my child myself.
Where was
I know,
this one?
I know.
You gave
Told you
birth.
this is my mentor. No, not him. Gave.
I didn't give
Pushing thing. My gun. Thank God.
grab the thing. No, you won't even be there.
So basically, you know, the whole thing of the midwife and everything like that. But the more I kept seeing the patterns and the statistics, it's almost like they're trying to force things into complication.
Oh my God!
I mean, cesarean.
Yes,
if it's not
the lights,
or they want to
all
put
of
epidural inside of
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
Or,
all of that. I
we
believe
can't-
that.
we need to make sure that the child comes right now, so
I
they give
believe
you
that.
Induce it, yeah.
all of this stuff, like, and it's like all of it is just fear of unknown.
Fear, yeah.
Because once that fear gets into you now, all the
Sick.
things that were feeding into my reflection. Oh, but this could happen though.
Yes.
What
This
if
could
this
happen.
happens?
What about this?
What
Yeah,
if
all the
that
fears.
what if a pussy tore? And then she starts to bleed and all of that stuff. So what are you gonna do about it? But then this is where
They control us with fear and manipulate us
and
with
this
fear.
is where I had to, I had to resolve in myself and say, look,
Nah,
what?
I can deal with
you
this.
have to get to the point where you just like, you know what?
Shut
It
up.
happens, it happens.
Right, just shut up and let me do whatever
It happens,
will
then
happen.
I'll deal with
There'll
it
be
then.
complications, even if it was you guys doing it.
Yeah,
In
it
fact,
still can
there's
be more chance of
right. So
Yeah.
it's just more like we've got to trust our higher self.
trust the
Like
higher
whatever
self.
This is
will
like the
happen.
conversation I had with T yesterday, like the exact same conversation about
And
this
I think
whole
this
thing.
with everything, you just got to get to the point where we just shed that fear.
Yeah.
Because our ancients weren't building pyramids with a manual, okay, how X, Y, so that, no, I don't think that's how it went down. There was an inner tuition. So from there now, even when my child was coming, I could see the waves of contraction in terms of energy.
Wow.
So I knew when she needed to push. She was afraid, but I was there to make sure that I didn't have that fear resonating inside of me.
Serious.
And I knew exactly what was happening.
Serious.
Even when his head came out.
Hey! My brother, man. You know what I'm
I'm not
saying?
saying this to elevate myself.
No, it's just real.
You know what? It's just more,
It's
it's
real.
real.
We're elevating you.
It's
You're telling us, yeah.
It's more in terms of it's real,
Yeah.
and what it takes for us to actually get to where we need to get to is real.
Yeah,
it's
real.
gonna take all. Like I see a lot of people are conscious, right? And everyone's getting conscious today is a trend. It's cool.
It's fashion.
You get what I'm saying? But what we need right now is collective sacrifice. So taking it back to the whole thing of homeschooling now, right? The issue is now, what have we been learning in schools to start with? So if I want to homeschool now, it's based on whatever paradigm I'm connected to. So I might be teaching them maths, X, Y, and everything like that. But am I really trying to get rid of all of that and relearn things?
Relearn.
Like
of course.
how the ancients used to go into the bush and deal with that eczema by identifying
Find
certain
what was
things.
wrong, yeah.
Right?
Nature.
How did they know that
Yeah.
that will cure eczema?
They had a
Does it
different
never come
connection.
back?
They had to,
Who?
Your daughter's eczema.
It did for a period.
when she came here,
It
obviously.
yeah, when she came back here,
Can I
that's
just
what made
ask
me.
how old she was as well when
She was young. She was. The last time I even thought I can like estimate she had it was probably about 5, 6. So probably for a few years after when she came back. Like when she came back, it was obviously not there,
Yeah.
and then she was fine.
Yeah.
And that's what made me realize there's certain things in. I don't know whether it's the clothes or the water
What
or
about
all of them.
washing powder?
Powder, washing powder,
Washing
all that
powders,
stuff.
the air. Was
Yeah,
she
yeah.
breastfed or powder milk fed?
Probably a bit of both.
Okay,
Probably
because
a bit of
I've
both.
experienced a lot of children, especially in this day and age. Like, what happens is females don't like to breastfeed these days. I don't know.
They don't want to mash up their
I
breasts.
don't know what,
Like
they don't want to mash up their
pools
breasts.
are-
It's long. It takes longer. For whatever reason, a lot of females choose not to breastfeed. And one of the first things that comes about with powder milk is
Eczema.
skin conditions. Just any
And
skin
allergies.
condition.
Have you ever
happened
read-
to my niece? It happened to like loads of people. And what happens is when you take them off the powdered milk, which is probably what happened when you went to Nigeria, and then they gave her a little bit of a detox.
Nah, she wouldn't have. Nah, she. If she was on powdered milk at the time, she would have rolled with the powdered milk.
She would have said.
Yeah, when the thing about that example I gave you is, for me, it was a clear illustration of how this system, when there's something wrong inside you,
Yes,
will give you
exactly.
something to
Yeah,
push
top
it
of
back
it.
inside.
Yeah.
Whereas in
the
the natural setting,
Exactly.
they will give you something to push it out. So that's what I was trying to illustrate. Because when I looked at it, I was like, nah, I don't know what's going on inside the child, but from my best estimates, how you were watching that contraction or whatever, it's like nothing's changed. It's just she's taken something that's helped. So I don't know what was dulling, what was causing the ailment.
Going
You know what I
back to
mean?
your thing and the education, like that's what I meant, because I don't think you give humans, children, this, that, and enough credit, because they've shown you times when they've taken like broken laptops to like African villages, and children that don't know nothing are creating websites. They reprogram it. You've got children that create fridges from mud and stones and
Just like that.
things. You've got them making use of like free energy and
You're right.
sunlight and this and that from knowing nothing.
Yeah.
So I think we don't give, like, what are we trying to educate?
Well, I think what we do,
Educated
we take an empty cup, and we like this is how I see education. An empty cup is not empty though, is it?
No.
It's filled with essence. It's filled with air. It's filled with environment. Atmosphere. But when you fill it with water, that pushes out what was already in it, right? So that's what the education is. Because when you're born, I feel like your head and your soul and whatever is more connected to the source, to wherever you came from. So to me, you're a spirit, you come from the spirit realm. Right. Consciousness is spirit. That's the best way I can try and weigh it up. So if you come with that knowledge of spirit, everything is trying to fill your cup with material, with flesh. So flashing lights, colours, nursery rhymes, twinkle twinkle little star on the mobile above the cot. Everything is just trying to take your attention, fill you.
Isn't that in essence? Isn't that in essence nature?
No.
Let me explain. If you look at anything, some animals will have a baby and just leave it. Some animals, you've seen that in nature. They'll have the baby and leave it there on the day. The fish will leave the utes and go.
Bam,
gone. Do your thing. Safe, G. Love it. The next one, drop an egg. Cool, fam. Love is love. Peace. Gone. The egg. Ain't never seen it again. But there's some animals where they're a bit
nurture
more
their young and
like. I believe life exists on a microscopic level. Of course. Yeah. But if we look at the bigger things, on a grandiose, like an eagle, like there's more animals where they look bigger, more complex. Where they devote more care towards their towards their offspring. So I think on a natural level, kids need to be kids are the more
guidance,
creative.
not education.
Okay. But listen. Education is guidance, my bro.
All right,
remember, it's the right guidance.
So who do you want best guiding your kids?
No. I'm not saying who's doing. I want someone good. I want someone good.
Should be you.
That's what I'm saying, but
As a father, as a
best?
mother.
But
Otherwise, why did you have a child?
Have you heard?
You can't be part of your responsibility as a parent.
Have you ever heard the
to
saying?
anyone else.
Have you ever heard the African saying? It takes
a village
to raise a child.
But we're not talking about the village. We're talking about Skynet.
What do you mean? The village is your community.
Yeah, no, we're talking about Skynet. It's not the village. Village didn't make the mobile with the twinkle twinkle little star. Twinkle didn't make the flashing light toy that bangs every time. But this is what I'm saying. But this is what where we are today in society, where it's more flashing lights and unnatural shit. Before, kids in the village are playing with a stone and a tire.
I know, man. Where I went to school, and look, my dad had a movie shop when I was little. I remember when I was little, I used to watch. I think it was like, I can't remember what film it was. Michael Douglas, some dirty film. It's a famous film.
Romance in the Stone, or
some
no. Indecent.
I don't know. That was way back in the one before that, way back. But what I'm trying to say, I remember growing up. I was a free kid, you know. They didn't really teach me any black conscious or blah blah blah. I just lived my life in it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But at the end of the day, fam, what I'm trying to say to you is like, someone had to educate me. The good things that I've got, I didn't learn from just my dad. Do you know what I mean? There's some things that I learned from my dad. There's some things I learned from my mum. Even if my dad sat me down and taught me every single day of his blessed life, there's still going to be days where I've got to learn things from other people.
Of course.
So what I'm trying to say to you, fam, we need the right... Look, this is what I believe. I believe I don't even need to know where my child is. That's wrong with... All right, what's wrong with society?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I don't need to know where my children are. Children are the most special thing in the world. I know that to be true, my personal experience. I believe if everyone else had the same consideration for children, we don't have to worry about children.
Where they are.
Children are not dumb.
That's how man was
Cats go out every day and come back home. I believe if a child got lost, in that adventure, he will find his way home. And furthermore, even if he's lost and the adult guide, like, you know what, I give up. Yeah, you see, touch wood, someone will say, my son, you look like cakes. Oh, right, that's cakes. I just found, is it? Little donut. I told him don't go too far. Bring him back home for me. Do you know what I mean? So them things are wrong with society. We don't have the right guidance. We don't have the right education. But if we're talking about education, bro, I'm saying, now let's not even bring up them demons there.
No, but it's true. But this is what we're worried about now. This is why we don't want to.
But that's back to the same fear. That's back to, because they'll use one Jimmy Savile to make it out like
everyone's on that.
Like there's a Jimmy Savile on that road. There probably is, for God's sake, because it's a fucked up thing, innit? Yeah. But what I'm trying to say to you is, like, They use fear to control us, yeah? What's wrong with society? We don't have the right guidance, fam. Because look, kids can't even play out late.
I think the main thing to teach, if I was to teach, like, obviously, my clock is set for my son now. So as you're saying this, I'm thinking, shit.
It's time, it's coming,
So it's like, I already set my curriculum based on where the detoxing of whatever had happened in my soul. So I'm not trying to teach my son the corruption. I mean, I have to know certain things. I need to try to teach him as pure as possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like, for instance, now, like, I'll have him reading out black books rather than white books, because there is something that, like, all through our lives we'll be reading out of white books, so that I can indoctrinate us.
When you say white books, what do you mean?
As in white sheets.
White with the color of the paper,
Color
you
of the
mean?
paper. So get a black book instead and write in white. And also take them back to ancient sounds. So rather than speaking this I-A-E-I-O, which is dull sounds, you can go back to the more ancient sounds, which brings more life. You get what I'm saying? So these are things that, right, so it's going to activate certain parts of their brain. So rather than getting dulled down with every single conversation they're having and casting spells on themselves every time they speak, you get what I'm saying? They'll be at least elevated past where I was. You get what I'm saying?
So this is what you're saying. You're gonna remember cakes, yeah. We have to keep remembering when I'm saying education. Actually, what I'm talking about is indoctrination.
But that's the trick the demons play, because at the end of the whole thing, man might go, yeah, education's long. No, education ain't long.
No, education ain't long. Indoctrination. But so when I was describing the twinkle twinkle little star, when I was describing all these things, I'm back to that. When I was describing these things, I was talking about indoctrination, and that's what I think is what is being bombarded on our children and on us, even now.
Did you hear his question? His question was, should he go to school? Perfect question.
Should your child go to school?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, but school can be in this room.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? School can be, as in when he means
mainstream school.
No. So let's take it there. Yeah. Should your child be schooled?
Right.
Schooled, of course. Schooled, yeah.
Whether mainstream or blah blah blah.
But remember, school is a group of fish, you know. Remember, school. Listen. Remember, school is a group of fish.
That's right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
That's right.
And the way they move in the hive. They got the hive mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Do what you need to pass.
Yeah. So
and they forget what they've learned.
Yeah. So it's not an individual thing. And with a school thing, when an enemy comes, they don't stand and back it or whatever. They scatter and one gets nabbed.
Right.
So this way you don't want to be in the school.
It's the illusion of being all together. But when it comes down to it, it's every man for themselves.
Yeah. So it's a weakness.
Yeah.
A school of fish, because then the big fish just goes into the middle and just grabs what it can grab. But anyway,
so should you be schooled? Should you be schooled or go to school then?
Yeah, you see, brilliant thing. I'm saying in the way we live in right now, like, these kids don't need to be going to this school.
No, just educate your child.
We need to teach them. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. My kid goes to school.
Yeah.
My kid goes to school because I think I'm there to give him the right teaching. I think life is an exciting thing, man. Like we all moan about little thing or whatever. It's meant to be bad. It's meant to be hellish. We're meant to go through this stuff.
This is what you were saying,
it'll be garbage. It'll be garbage. You know what I mean? So, like, for me, like my kid might go to school.
It's meant to be bad or meant to be hellish. I think we've developed those perceptions.
Do you know why I use them words in that strong way? Because even if I take away the powers that be, and I dump myself in some way I can imagine, in some humble utopia somewhere, I see within the human mind how the same destructive forces will become apparent again.
Yeah,
in any village you go to, whether we aspire to the Red Indian or the whatever, in their society, I personally believe there was good and bad people.
I agree. Because it goes back to what you even said earlier in terms of like when in those villages where they had that perfect paradise, they were still looking at the other side thinking,
do you know what I mean?
Go learn that. We want to go be educated by that. So
we need the right education.
The main thing now is a balance. Everything in life is balance. You get what I'm saying?
So even saying about the yin and yang.
Right. So you can be on one extreme and you can be on the other extreme. Like for instance, I started off being a raw vegan when I started my journey. But what I found is that everything is all shit anyway. You get what I'm saying? So I have to basically just see things in terms of like,
bless it,
right? Study, know myself, and then now and again I'll cook some food. I'm still a vegan, but I go from raw vegan to vegan. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'll see my energy. If my energy is saying, you know what?
Shit, vegan gangs out. Vegan gangs out, boy. Are you one of them as well?
I was vegan.
Semi.
I've gone back into the.
Come back to the
I
light.
said burger.
Fish. I need to go back to vegan.
A burger or
You
two.
see what you just
A
said?
burger.
I was at
Your
my
energy.
highest frequency when I was.
But would you eat a
But I
burger?
felt that I needed to eat fish.
But would you say no to a
Right,
burger?
right,
No,
right.
I
Even
don't
that
need no
itself is not a
burger.
bad
The thought of
thing.
eating meat
No,
now.
that's not a
bad
Yeah.
thing
I
either.
can't do it.
That's not a bad thing. I personally,
My body
energy
told me
won't
to
take
do
that.
it.
Okay.
I felt it, so I had to go. And it's like what the information that I have found, like for me, I can eat fish because I am water.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? But the water's been poisoned, so I have to have that in mind. But when
Right,
I've
right,
travelled
right,
to foreign lands,
right.
you see the effect of the people affects the water, and you have that fish, and it's clean because they got it that day.
Cheers,
It wasn't in Tesco's for 3 weeks.
Right.
Enjoy it for you. Cheers.
Right,
What's your view on fish?
It's a dead animal.
You become what you eat.
If you're putting death into your body, like whether it's around good energy and stuff, for me personally, I just think it's death in it. I'm not gonna put death into
No,
my
it is.
living body that I want to live and thrive and grow.
Okay. So let's take it one step further. Yeah.
Is fish wrong?
Plants. Yeah. No. It's fish. Fish is what's wrong.
Fish is what's
Plants. Yeah. Some people have the view that plants are life too. I had the view of not even.
100%.
We all know plants are life. Yeah?
Yeah.
When you pick a plant, it starts dying. When you pick a vegetable and unroot it, it starts its dying process. That in itself is death as well.
I think
Is
it's-
it not?
Can I say something? to that?
Okay, go on, go on.
It's more in terms of energy flow. When you see things in terms of energy flow, it changes your perception of things because everything is just a filter of energy.
Okay.
So everything is connected. That fish is connected to the plant in some way.
Okay.
So, like as a medical geneticist, when you look at the strip of the genes, we're very, very alike. It's just little slips here, like maybe there'll be a G different from a C there, and
That
all of
might
that
be a
stuff.
lie though. But yeah.
Yeah. I think that's slightly ahead
I
to it.
know what you mean. Definitely. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying
Yeah.
is there's a life
We're
form.
so
There's
well
a central
connected.
source
Well connected.
that
Okay.
connects everything together.
Yeah. So
You
once
got
you once you detach something from that life form, like for instance, you kill a fish, you kill a
No, but you
chicken,
you're trying to link it up.
or you pull
It
a.
was what it's for. There's a purpose behind
That's it.
things, and the purpose of plants
Is to
and
eat.
trees. They bear fruit for a reason.
No, fruit is different from plants.
No, but it come from plants.
But
No.
I think
Fruit, no.
plants-
From the
Fruit is
earth.
different from veg. Like when you pull a veg out of the ground,
But
that is
it's
different.
ready because
No, it's
if
the
you
same
don't
thing.
pull it out from the ground
It will go
and you just
dissolve
leave
back
it,
into
it
that.
will
It'll
die
become,
out.
but it'll go back to being ground again.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then what
So that's
good is
it's
that
in
to
its
do?
own
That's right.
cycle.
Cool. That's
It's
another
doing its own
point.
thing.
Doing its
So
own
you
thing.
interrupting
But
it.
it doesn't help anything. Do you
Right,
know
but
what I mean?
either
It does
way,
its own thing, but there's no.
The main
benefit
thing
of
is
it.
the appreciation for life. That's what we see. That's what's
We're not
wrong
meant
with
to
the world today. So it's not even a case of eating fish. It's like where all these fish coming from that they're
Yeah.
killing.
There
You know
you
what I mean?
go,
You
yeah.
see the amount
If
of
you're
meat.
eating
How do they
roadkill
get the
and stuff
fish?
like
Why
that,
the hell
that's
they
one
get
thing.
the
How
fish?
do
Nothing wrong
they
with
fish?
eating
Do
meat.
they care
Life's
about
done
that
already.
animal?
Yeah,
But it's
yeah,
also
yeah.
you
But to
as
go out
a
and
who's
act
the
and
consumer.
kill
Do
something,
you
yeah,
care
yeah,
about
yeah.
that animal?
Right.
Do you bless it? What is your intention? It's
Like-
also that you can change the energy.
Oh, okay,
That's
but
how
if
it goes.
do you believe that you
can't
have?
change the energy of
Wait,
death.
can
no,
I
I
ask you a
was about
question?
to say that.
Do you
And
think you
also-
can have a unison with the earth where it's like, for instance, I watch a certain tribe, and like that's all I do is watch these. If you lot know any good documentaries about indigenous tribes and indigenous people and blah blah blah, send them to me because that's what I like to watch. Yeah. So I was watching this tribe the other day, and they all do this mad ritual where all different villages get together and they kill one elephant. Yeah, they kill an elephant, but their process you would find barbaric. I know you lot would think rare, but these lot are they're at one with the world, with the earth, and they use every single part of that elephant, and it's almost like they give more reverence and thanks for that elephant's life
You know why
than
they do
anything
that?
else.
You
And
know why they do that though? Because listen, you see, it's easy to watch something on the TV. Dons are cooking some elephant. I got a rap tune called Elephants. Check it out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? So I'll be interested in it. I love all them wildlife
down below.
programs. Yo. Yeah, link down below. I love them. I love like all that wildlife program and stuff here. But you see what? Yeah. Sometimes I romanticize with some of these indigenous tribes. They know a lot. They know a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But
I do
what I'm
that
trying to
still.
say, until you're on the ground level, you don't know why it is they're doing that. And they might have a reason until you know what it is, until you go there and man says to you, oh no, this is why we're doing that, and you're like, and you're blessed with that. Sometimes man don't know the dark side of some of these things, fam.
Right.
It's just the same way when the queen gets coronated.
I heard they put some crocodile fat on her or some whatever thing on a coronation in the thing, and I heard that's facts. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I could speculate anything I want about it. I could go. I could say all that sort of stuff. No, but bro, the reality is, man don't know the symbology, the ritual side of it. I don't know. The man who knows it is gonna say, yeah, leave them fools. We know why we're doing it. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Some people only. I know a man. In school, he always wore his hat, his Gap hat. When he used to wear Gap hats, like on the left side, like that. One day he had it on the right. Man said, "Right, what one?" You know what I'm trying to say to you? Yeah. So until you know the reason for it, you know
That's exactly what I was hinting. I was going to, because it's like in Africa, right? Because I kind of grew up in Africa. It's like I didn't even know nothing about consciousness then. It's just things that happen that organically. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's like people were naturally vegans because you couldn't afford meat. You used to have to eat meat. I'm Igbo.
Oh, I'm Igbo, bro.
Hey, I'm Igbo too. Sorry guys.
You could afford meat, bro. We had cow. We had cow. Don't worry, I will share some. Don't give me
Thank you. This is what I'm saying. Honorary Yasman now. I didn't get none of that Igbo love. That Igbo love just went right. I didn't get no Igbo love.
What's your father's name?
What village? You know that I need proof from this one.
You're the one who made it all come together anyway. But yeah, not to cut.
Yeah. So my point was that it's not okay. Yeah, there were families that could afford it, but in a general thing, naturally, they used to do things in seasons.
Of course.
So there will be a season when the whole village will sacrifice an animal, and they will tell there was peace with that animal when that animal was being sacrificed, compared to slaughters and butchers. You get what I'm saying? That have no appreciation. So that animal itself is sacrificed its life for some reason. You get what I'm saying? But it was seasonal. There was a time for certain things to happen. It wasn't like
not just that. The people knew that they were sacrificed.
Right.
They weren't saying, no, I'm not paying for it. Like, I'm not the one killing it. I'm not.
I'm just gonna get in a nice little packet.
I'm not involved.
And they'll let the life form, that's the blood, go back to the earth.
True.
Do you get what I'm saying? So they understood the concept of energy transfer. Maybe they will not have called it that.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? And then at that point,
cycle,
once they're happy with the whole thing, then they'll distribute the meat to everybody and all that, and they'll even use the horns and everything had its place.
Sorry, can we pause for a minute? Pause your cameras, please. Sorry.
Vitamin K and doctors.
We somehow it's a mad job, but you know what? Have you started? Is that on?
Eating animals.
We're talking about eating animals. So yeah, it's all about. For me, the more I keep seeing things of energy, it changes my perception of everything. Yeah. Everything's about conserving life and preserving life and connecting with life. You get what I'm saying? So now, I've said to myself, like, I'm a raw vegan, but I'm so flexible and so balanced in my energy that if I went to Africa and everything is done right, and I know I can connect to going back to have the understanding of how things work, I don't have any qualms eating meat at a certain time.
You'd have been back. I wouldn't eat meat.
But I wouldn't eat meat every single day
because we're not meant to consume it like that.
It's Tesco's and Sainsbury's and these people that are putting it there. Like back in the day, chicken. People could only have chicken once. Now you have chicken every day. You see what I mean? And they're making fake chicken now. They're pumping it up. And you want the chicken? I'll give you your chicken. And the animal's being sacrificed because we're not respecting the animal. And then we're eating that.
And they even tell you what they call themselves, butchers.
This is it.
Yeah, I mean, they butcher the animal like that. Have you watched on YouTube how they kill these chickens, man? No respect for life. It's disgusting. They just literally electrocute the chicken, and you can see the fear in the animal because everything's energy. So that fear is inside of the animal. It's going inside of you. So that's why you see there's so much anxiety in the world today. There's no peace because everyone is just eating so much meat. And
what I can't understand is how the fuck did they get enough chickens to sustain all the Dallases, all the Tennessee chickens, all the Morleys, but you know what? I started thinking that about all food though, yeah.
Excuse me,
Fake
I do
chicken,
dibble and dabble
yeah.
in chicken now and again.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can
And I've got to the
clone
point where I think,
everything.
bruv, it's not even real anyway.
It's not.
It's not real chicken
not
anyway.
real.
It's Hollywood.
blatantly
Yeah,
wrong.
bro, it's what I'm saying. So I'm like, right, when I'm having the wings now and again, it's like, do you know what? Cool, it's not real anyway. I mean, it's
But I'd say the same for avocado.
White fam, the
Right,
whole
yeah, right.
Hear me? Listen. I would say the same for avocado, simply because I know what avocado tasted like when I was growing up. I know what avocado tastes like, and I know what we have here now that is ready. There's avocado, whatever time of year it's there, and it don't even act like avocado. Strawberries don't act like strawberries.
That goes back now.
That goes back to what you said about eating in season. Because
Right.
you're eating in season, that
Forcing it.
vibration is coming through you.
That's
You
it.
are in sync
With nature.
universe, the nature. But we ain't because we're going to Tesco's and Sainsbury's.
Right,
You know the
right.
other day I walked to where I used to
Tesco.
live.
Don't
And
back the
one-
table, don't back the
Sorry, and one of the
Right,
shops,
every day.
one of the shops, a local business had been shut down, and it's because of all
Tesco's
these
and all the-
Tesco's.
Right.
And it's like we should be giving that man money for his family.
Eat some
But
food.
we're bombarded with these choices,
Right,
and
right,
we
right,
are only
right,
going to
right,
go to
right.
convenience
That is
stores.
a-
That's why it's a convenience
That is a
store.
proper, jewel. And can I just say, this is how we're dying.
And you can tell, like, when you talk, like, we'd go 1 week, there's blueberries. If you go like 2 weeks later,
It's not there. Sorry, we're out of season. Sorry, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you choose something else.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, 'cause you eat
people don't
different
like
every
that.
week,
They
yeah.
get.
They
You
want it
lot
like
just sparked something in my brain. Like it's actually, I knew it, but now Ivy and T, you lot have just made it make sense. Yeah. If you eat in according to what is available by nature, but you get me? Nature's saying this is what we got on the menu today. This is what's on the menu. You know what I'm saying? This is what's you don't go in the menu and go and start ordering something else. Like that's not we're not serving
Now
that.
vegans can now say that, okay, you know what, this is what I had to make sure I wasn't, because at first when I started, I ain't gonna lie, I was banging hard on the whole vegan thing.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to become raw vegan.
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That was because
That's the first stage. That's step one. That's step one.
you know what I'm saying? But that was my arrogance.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
yeah.
So I
Real
had
talk.
to,
You
I
had to
changed
tone
my
it down,
mind.
yeah.
Right, so I had to literally just say, you know what, everyone needs to just understand themselves. But I knew at that point I needed to, because there was a lot of cleansing
For
going on
you,
with
yeah,
me.
yeah,
And
yeah.
plus, I was just living on cashew nuts. Right, and I needed selenium for my brain. You know what I mean? So literally, that's all I was doing. But my body was
Sorry,
still.
I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna say because I don't know about
that word.
Please,
Yeah.
selenium,
I know,
please.
the word.
Just say,
that
yeah, sir. Bring it back. What's selenium?
Selenium is important for your brain because you have a lot of brain toxins in the food that you eat.
Okay.
So the selenium helps you to detox all of that stuff, right? And
So
it
it doesn't
keeps you
build
sharp.
up.
So that's why when you eat a lot of cashew nuts, your stomach gets bloated because cashew nuts has 98%.
Now it explains it.
No,
Not them ones. Organic cashew.
Don't know what they are.
I thought I was living life, man. I'm not gonna lie. I only just learned that cashew nuts grow on trees. I know that sounds dumb, innit? There's actually a tree.
Go back to the education.
Yeah.
Children don't even know what a marrow is like.
Don't.
It's not because of the way it's done.
Yeah.
Right? Cashew nuts, when I was in Africa, we used to
consumer.
pluck the cashew from the tree itself.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
So I
So,
heard it was poisonous.
nah, man, that's all. That's
If
all the
it-
nonsense they tell you.
if it's
The
done at
reason
the
why
wrong
it is
time or some
because
shit.
their paradigm and our paradigm are different. So we need to know the things that work for us. I've been eating cashew. When I first started eating cashew nuts,
No, not the cashew nuts. I heard the process of getting the cashew out. If it's not like
Done
basically,
properly, it's
yeah,
true,
like
just-
that thing is
basically they
poisonous,
have to you have to roast it in the shell.
Yeah.
And then when you break it off, it's termed as raw. Well, it's only raw because
pistachios raw are kind of poisonous if you have too many.
Right.
Okay.
So if not done properly, where the shell itself is supposed to crack open.
Nuts, my brother.
You know what I'm saying? So most of the things is like and plus certain things when they're GMO are toxic for you.
Of course.
Do you get what I'm saying? So cashew nuts is one of those things that's very delicate. That's why many people can't have a lot of cashew nuts.
But the truth is, we ain't gonna be. This is what I believe, yeah, or maybe they're making me believe this. Here in England, if we're all in England now, we ain't gonna be able to escape this GMO thing, you know. Because, like, the truth is, when you phone up the organic company and say, right, I've got your product, I just wanna, can you confirm that this is 100% organic and it's had no contact with GMOs? They can't,
Of course.
they can't and won't legally
You just
say.
gotta do your best.
Do your best, innit? Basically, yeah. That's what it comes down to, innit?
Tricky. I saw something on YouTube, yeah. the guy said about the molecular structure of water. Said like, I don't know how true it is. I'm sure some of you guys have seen it. Dude's saying like he put water in a cup, some Chinese guy.
Dr. Emoto.
Yeah, and he dissed the water, you little piece of shit, blah blah blah. Come back to
Oh yeah. The vibration.
The
Yeah, that's what I was saying
molecules.
about the fish in different
Exactly,
countries. That's why I
exactly.
can eat it.
But then he said good stuff to the water. The water come back looking all flavoursome and flavouring.
Did he write it on the bottle, on the container?
He done that. He done that.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
another part. They said he's talked to the water and stuff. Yeah.
They also played music as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it made me think about something because I remember when I started going on my conscious thing, I got a tune called Black Jesus, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, this the Bible, this that, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. But there's certain truths that there's a certain bit in all these religions where they say like pray or bless your food.
Yeah, bless your food.
Bless your food.
Right.
Yeah. And then when I saw that thing on YouTube, I was like, later. If this science is right, and I'm 80% water, and this food is whatever percent water, and some other garbage. But if I say, yo, my G, the way you're looking so flaky,
you're gonna be so good to me, you know.
Feel me?
Yeah.
Grandma sent you in a pack with me. You're doing magic there.
It's like talking to plants, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or talking to the baby in the womb.
And I don't believe like there's
Most people can't even look in a mirror and talk
to themselves. Wow. Yeah. I'm gonna give you that one still. I'm gonna give you that. I got a bridging called Blem. That's like
They've only got themselves to face. Excuse the pun. If you're gonna have to look in the mirror and tell yourself. You love you, yeah. And look, I don't like to. You see, man just said that. Yeah, most people can't do that. It's true. That's true. But there's a background story for some of these people. Some of these people, look. When Mummy was telling me, "How are you doing? You hungry? I love you, son," and blah blah blah. They were going through a next kind of bringing up. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So it's easy for me to say, without knowing why. But the truth is still the truth, man. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's power in I'm just sprouting from what you said.
And that's why it's important how people speak to each other.
And themselves.
Yeah.
How many times do you say, "Oh, you idiot"?
Yeah.
You this.
No, I used to do that all the time.
So based on what you're saying now, are you saying that you can eat anything, just bless it?
No. But here's
but technically, can you not?
Check this. Oh my God, fam. Let me answer that. Check it.
Oh my God.
I'm not like a super religious person. I'm not a Bible basher or something. I don't know the Bible like that yet. But I swear there's a story in the Bible or something like that where there's something like Jesus saying, like people try and say, Jesus was chatting rubbish when he said you could eat pork. Or I mean, the Christians are saying chatting rubbish when they say you could eat pork. But there's something in the Bible, I can't remember where they're trying to say that these men were eating pork, but they blessed it. It's all they had. In other words, what I'm trying to say to you, fam, if all you have, check this, if you're sitting down in the park, and there's some pork there, I'm not saying whether or not you should eat it or shouldn't.
But what are you sitting on?
No, let me explain. Okay, all right. Bro, you can't eat the grass, You can't eat the grass. You got to eat the grass. We test it. Later on today, you say what you
I ain't eating that grass. I've got 2 dogs. I ain't eating grass. Last thing I'm eating is
so
grass, man. I ain't eating. I am not eating grass.
Here's my point.
No, but
If you grow
if I grew grass,
listen to me.
Yeah.
Listen.
There's gonna be a vegetable or a tree or something.
Bro, what I'm trying to say to you, I've gone a long way.
Is this a chance?
No. I've gone a long way.
I choose grassy pork.
I don't want
porky grass now. I'm joking. Go
half the thing is jokes, man.
Yeah.
I don't want someone watching to say Casey saying eat pork. Yo, man ain't saying that. Don't get lost, man ain't saying that. But what I'm saying, I've gone a long way to try and say that. Look, there might be a time in someone's life where
what you got is what you got.
What you got is what you got. Like in the German in the war or whatever. I don't know. I heard the Jews. I don't know how true it is. The Jews were eating. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I've heard in other wars people didn't have something. What I'm trying to say to you,
eating their own children. Is that cool?
Apparently they did that.
Listen. Check this. If you're in a position, but listen. Let me. You've asked me. Man, them asking me so many questions. They won't let me finish.
No.
If man's in the mountains, and there's no food in the thing, and everyone's dead. I'm saying if you gotta eat that thing to survive a few more days,
bless it, my bro. That's all I'm saying.
What?
That's all I'm
I don't
saying.
know about
Because
that.
I've watched things on. I've watched movies, yeah, where I think it was that plane thing, where the plane
They
was
ate each other.
Yeah, no, yeah, the plane was.
I think they all should have died. I think they all should have died,
You know what I mean?
personally.
No, they didn't eat him when he was alive.
No, yeah,
They
I
didn't
think they should have died.
No, but when you say he
They
should have
should have
died, they
embraced death.
found someone though.
Yeah,
They
these
found
situations
someone.
Yeah, they survived. Some people
But
survived.
again,
Bro, you
you're
asked me
eating
a
them because you're
ludicrous
fearful
question
of
though, and I'm
what
trying
you
to
said.
answer
Death,
it. There's never going to be a position in London. You've asked me a question. I'm
So
going
you
to great
yourself,
lengths to
I'm
try
just
and
saying,
answer it.
if that like
I don't need to
something
eat
crazy
meat.
happened, like, you know what I mean? Shops closed, everything rare.
And then you
chaos,
got some
madness,
don saying,
mayhem,
yeah, man, don't eat some
and
vegan
then-
dude. There's no food about.
There is
We've
nothing.
run into
Well,
Sainsbury's.
Because we'll be the first that they eat.
No, listen.
Yeah, because they're all plant-based. Plant-based humans. Yeah.
You guys are so gassed. Listen, yeah, they're so gassed. Listen, in Stratford, from here to Plaistow, yeah,
Hey.
But you're
there's
telling me
no
when nothing's around, no food, a pig's gonna come running by. Like,
That's not the example. Bro, you man need to let me finish. Because man them are taking me so far away from my point. Here's a better example, yeah? Let's say all chaos came out. Yeah? Blah, 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 there's nothing. Yeah? And man them start looting the shops. And by the time us man land into flipping Sainsbury's and Tesco or whatever, remember, we ain't new a minute. Where am I going to go get some fruit and some whatever, innit? I'm just saying, innit? I'm trying to answer your question.
I know you just see the
So
sandwich.
check this, yeah? I've got to take some stuff back home to my youths. Same way as you, because it's mad, it's law, and all, you know what I mean? Cause are you mad? I'm going to grab some chicken nuggets if there weren't nothing else on the shelf. But if I not get there, yeah, there's some apples left, yeah? Why am I taking the chicken nuggets for my youth then? Do you get the point? I'm trying to answer your question, bro. A human being is capable of everything. I don't believe, yeah, when you face your greatest test, it's going to kill you.
I hear what you're saying fully. I'm hearing with my emotions. So I'm trying to disconnect both. You get what I'm saying? Like, because I hear what you're saying in terms of like, if it was me now, I know I can sacrifice my life. I'm not gonna touch pork. I'm not gonna even touch meat. That's how it really gets. I would rather starve and die. Like I would just, you know what I mean? But that's me. But I'm thinking my younger one now. So now you just touched the nerve there. I'm thinking, yo,
I'm gonna let your child starve to death?
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, but
with a pork chop right there. Pork chop right there.
This is where it's
seasoned, sprinkled with niceness.
It's actually mad because as much as I want to say,
and then your child's
I
screaming.
don't know what I would do. That's the
Never
reality.
say never, my bro. That's what I'm trying to say here.
But I think what he was trying to say was, if you are in that position, if you bless the food,
then
you know
that's the best you could do.
That's the best.
That's the best you could do.
Then
It's
where
like
does
the
it
whole
end though?
organic
Where does
fruit
it
thing,
end?
innit?
Because like
There ain't
it could
No,
be
that's what we're
anything.
in now though. Because the food we're eating right now, what I said at the
not in
start,
there
you
now,
weren't
you
here.
got to walk past the apples to get to everything.
No, bro,
else
the
in
apples are fake.
supermarket.
Listen, I watched the documentary.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
see
yeah,
them
yeah.
apples we eat now, yeah? They plucked them off the tree 6 months ago, and they
Yeah,
kept
yeah,
it in
yeah,
a dark
yeah,
room.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they
Wax
and
it
they wax it and they
yeah,
do
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, yeah, you got people walking past saying, "Oh my days, I'm eating something." Saying, "Now shut up, you're eating some fake apple."
Yeah, yeah.
Some dead fake apple.
Furthermore, a don who's come by and said, "Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna bless that apple before I eat it." I believe there's something magical in that. We downplay that little power. I believe you can not pray, but you can bless your food the same way the scientist was talking about the water. And the next man come and you say, "Flipping hell, I've got to the shop." Last night I was absolutely starving, bro. Have you ever been so hungry your eyes just feel like it's hurting you? Say, you know what? I'm just gonna eat a croissant.
So now the
Just
question
eat
now
me a
would be
croissant
like,
because that's all I had.
the question now would be, would you have to wait till extreme situations?
No,
to
I'm just
do
answering
that?
your question.
Or
You
would
don't
you
have
do it? And yourself now, right? Would you do that if, like, say for instance, now there was nothing in your fridge to eat or whatever, and then you just had, you know,
No, I wouldn't eat.
someone just left a
No,
pizza
there's
there
shop.
with
There's
a
a shop.
Man,
Man go shop. Yeah, man go shop. No, man ain't talking about that. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You can take these steps, but I'm trying to say, in terms of blessing food, I believe that there's bro. We need to humble ourselves sometimes, because man can say, "Oh, you can't eat this, you can't eat that." Bro, maybe you could, and you can transform it, like what the scientist was trying to say. I don't know. I just bring it to the table, innit?
That's deep in itself, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Because apparently the water's bad.
because this is real.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking as real as your Evo. You know
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about. 1967 to 1970, there was a war.
Yeah. What,
Maybe you know
the Biafra
what I'm talking about.
Maybe.
The Biafra war.
Maybe. I know that. Oh my god. I'm feeling what's going into that. Go ahead.
There was a Biafran war where 3 million of our people.
Biafra.
Biafra, yeah, Biafra.
Yeah, Biafra, yeah.
So 3 million of our people died. Like,
True.
now only I would say not even up to 30,000 of those people died by gunshot wounds. Most of them starved to death.
Yes, true. My mum was there in the
My
summer.
grandma,
My mum
my
from
right, my grandfather was there as well. My mum used to tell us the stories as a little
That's
child.
right.
You get what I'm saying? So it gets real. My mom used to say, like, literally, you say you ain't gonna eat grass.
Yeah, you eat
They
grass,
were
you
eating
eat
grass.
bark, you eat bark.
You eat
the
anything
wood
that you
bark.
can eat to
Yeah.
survive, kind of thing.
Yes.
So this is where it actually gets real now. So I can sit here in the convenience
And
of
talk
the
crap.
convenience stores that are just around next to
In
me.
the realness,
and
I
say,
ain't gonna
yeah,
lay
you know
down
what,
and-
yeah,
Right,
I would
boom.
never ever do that.
Yeah.
Like,
This is something that I've always wanted to ask you
That's what I'm
guys,
trying to say, cuz.
Yeah, I hear you,
some
I
of
hear
my vegan friends and stuff like that, because like I said, I watch the survival programs and that. One of the programs I watch is a program called Alone, and basically there's like
were you
10
alone when you watched it?
there's like 10 people. They get put like 20 miles apart from each other. And in this remote location, they got survival of the land. They're all alone, no camera crew, no nothing. They film themselves and that.
Is this
and,
the one that went up?
and,
went all mad
and the first
No,
one,
yeah.
and the first one to leave. I mean, the last one to leave is the winner.
Okay.
So you just stay until, but you don't know how many other people have pulled out, whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah. But this is the thing what I learned about that thing there. Yeah. The vegan lifestyle. From the information we have right now, it seems near enough impossible when they're out in this wilderness, because I don't think that we are educated enough about the actual plants and stuff from the from.
But then that goes
Do you know
back
what I
to
mean?
education. Even when Cakes was saying about like the food and stuff, if there was a food desert,
Yeah.
if we knew how to make,
True.
if to have an apple tree in our garden,
True.
or to have tomatoes on your windowsill, do you
You
know what I
have
mean? You can grow that stuff,
True.
and you
And to
can
add on
like,
to that,
teach
to
them
add on
in
to that,
school.
to
Exactly.
add
My
on
wife
to that,
does
miss.
that, but it's like she has tomatoes, but it doesn't come every time. So when
No.
we're hungry, we have to wait for the tomatoes to come 3 weeks
Yeah,
later
yeah,
to get
yeah.
the tomato. That's where it gets real now.
But to
But it
add
seems
on to
it,
that-
seems,
nature.
it
You
seems
have
to be.
to.
It
But
seems.
this is
Then
where-
that's why we did the GMOs and all that, because we're going against
Because we're
nature.
going
We want it
against
faster.
nature.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And then after 3 weeks of food, would you die?
I want to add on something.
Price of
Right,
health.
right,
I want to
right.
add on to something you said. Yeah, one day I was walking with a friend of mine in West Ham. Yeah, and we walked past the fence and he grabbed some of the leaf. Like he picked a leaf and he ate it. It's a little rusty. You, a good friend. I spoke about him earlier on. And I thought, fam, what are you doing? You think you're Earthman Jim? And he said, nah, Kate. He said, nah, Kate, you can eat that one.
Okay.
And I said, rah. And he said, them other ones are point. I looked at him like I just zoned out from when he was talking. I love you, my bro. If you ever see this, he knows I'm talking about him. Yeah. So he's zoned out, and I'm looking at him. I've zoned out. I'm looking at him like, bruv, you eat flipping leaves on the road. But he's educated. He's educated himself. Yeah. So you see, like if there was a time where there was no food, because of my lack of education,
This is gonna
I might
force
be
you now.
eating some bullshit. I shouldn't be eating. But whereas a man that does know, he's saying, bro, you crazy. Look how much food I got around me that I'm going to have to contend with now that the other stuff ain't there.
How do you think the original people learn? This is a real shit now. How do you think the original people learned what was good and what was bad?
They had
Trial
to
and
try.
error. So someone ate it and died, and then everyone else said, "Alright, don't eat that one." Do you think so? Do you think so?
I think there's divine intuition. I think there's divine intuition.
No, you look at what the animals and stuff are eating as well. Like birds will pick certain things. Or
Yeah.
But what a bird can eat, ain't, but what a bird can eat ain't necessarily what you can eat.
No,
but then it
from
gives
that,
you-
you look at all of these animals and you see.
I
like,
think
you
there's
can kind of
divine.
Yeah,
Bro,
then you can
I think there's something
So
higher.
let
I
me
think
say
there's
this
something
to you.
higher than human beings that influenced us to know what to eat. Because I don't know, or higher than who we are now.
Like-
They had maybe an internal voice with
Yeah,
nature.
like you
They
choose
can
for
talk
that.
to the plant, or they're looking at the plant. They
I
know
agree,
by
I
this
agree.
shade of green.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
But we just have.
They just
we
felt
can't-
it.
Yeah.
They
they-
felt
Oh
it.
yeah. Or they just
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
it.
That's when it-
There has to be something else. There has to be something
Say
else.
like Sumerian stuff and all that as well. There's a lot of
You
their
have to have the
artwork and
connection.
stuff where they've got people on the planting fields and showing them all that, and they're giving them. Like I broke it down as basically man giving man information in it. So man's giving him the acorn. The acorn we know is the pineal
Pineal
gland. So
gland.
man's giving man that. Man's giving him the vision. The next one is my man's. He's farming in it, and that's
Okay,
not written
yeah,
down.
yeah,
but
yeah,
that's just me
yeah.
being in the
But they
great
say
team.
they-
Yeah, yeah,
It makes
and-
sense.
yeah,
innit? And I'm
decipher
seeing,
it.
and it's like it's got the whole outlay of the field from above and rear to and giving them the seasons, man knowing when to. And I don't know if that's us being not as conscious as we should be with all the fuckery that's we've
think
got
so.
around us now.
I think
But
this
we
is
might even
the
know
indoctrination. This
Like,
is what they've done.
Without us being as calcified as people are, like you might be getting voices telling you, no, bro, you can't eat that right
You
now.
can't eat that right
You
now.
know,
Wi-Fi
you know,
blocking it out.
You see what I'm saying?
To be real, to be real, the main thing you need to do is just basically, first of all, start to remove all the concepts that you had before, and then start to actually try
Relearn
things
it.
out.
Try it.
But
Try
not
it.
just trying in terms of, okay, yeah, I'm just going to try anything, because like you said, it might
But
be
live
poisonous,
it.
you just die. But like, for instance now, mango, do you know you can eat the mango seed? No one ever told me that.
Yeah,
I never
true.
knew that, but when I became raw vegan, there was something that just in me. After I was like, now let me find what's inside it, and I opened it. I saw the actual mango seed itself inside of the seed.
Is it soft?
And
Yeah, of course.
no, it's like I don't you ever had cola nuts?
Cola nut, yeah.
Right, it's like that, and it's bitter like that.
Yeah.
But then it helped me in terms of detoxing like my sugar levels. You get what I'm saying? But I didn't know that, so I had to first of all try it. There was something in me that intuition telling me.
That's the gut
The
feeling.
apple
Right.
seed cures
That's the
cancer.
same thing.
But they'll
Right,
tell you it's
exactly.
poisonous.
It's poisonous.
But they won't tell you that
So
the
and
skin
you're
of the
probably
apple counterbalances
you're
the poison
he's
from the
getting it.
seed.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Same thing.
Right, and then now once
you
you
can
got
eat
that,
the
now you
whole
now
apple.
cannot
Basically.
transfer
Yeah.
that to someone
Rather
else.
than
So they don't
peeling
have
it and
to
all
try
that.
it,
It's
they
the
already
same
know.
thing, bro. You're just passing
It
it
showed
on.
me,
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like
saying?
that
Yeah,
make me
yeah.
never ever doubt the full existence of God. Like what he just said about the apple. Like the apple seed is poisonous. They
But
won't,
the
but they'll
skin
tell
is-
you that. But if you eat the whole apple plus the skin, that's what you just said. Then it undoes the
Yeah,
poison.
yeah.
Like things like a lemon being so acidic.
A
but
Big
once
Bang-
it go
a Big
inside
Bang
your
created
belly,
that.
It turns alkaline.
A Big
For
Bang
me-
out of nothing created
For
that.
me, like that's the side of God you can't deny, yeah. And that's the like with the undertone I always want to talk with here, yeah. Because you see, like what is term God whatever you want, and let's not get religious in it. You can term it whatever you want. It's up to you.
Unless you're religious, feel free to be religious.
But on that aspect of God, the Most High or High, it makes me feel like a humble student. Like it makes me feel like a man. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's not to say like I'm not in contact or I can't do certain marvelous things, but it makes me feel like like in life there's always the works of God is more than a man can even fathom.
I feel like we are students. We are students of life, but in this society, we're at the back smoking. We're in the back. We're in the back alley of the school smoking behind the technology block. Yeah. So we're learning about that, but we're not actually getting to learn the lessons. That because we're being subverted.
This goes
Do you know
back
what I mean?
to what I actually, because we are talking about all of this now, but I like to be very practical when I do things. That's just me personally. You know what I'm saying? I want to see it. So as a community of people, say we're saying, you know what? All of us here, like, we want to find a way to change the paradigm that we see in terms of in every aspect, food being a primary one right now. It's like, and then homeschooling, all of that stuff. How do we actually do it in terms of like, we've already adopted that mindset? How collectively can we say, you know what, we're going to start to, I don't know, are we all going to agree to be vegans or whatever? What is going to be the process as a collective? You get what I'm saying? Because there's something powerful about collective consciousness.
Another thing I wanted to add to you lot about this is, you know, for me, I feel like anything that seems to be trendy, I'm wary of it.
Especially if it's all over the gaff.
Especially if it's promoted. Especially if a lot of people talking about it. Especially if
it's mainstream.
Especially if I see a lot of pliable people,
influential
on this thing. Now, having said that, I feel that way slightly about veganism. I've said this to T before.
But they push bullshit veganism. They push soy products and tofu and DNA changing products.
And they also push this idea that it's more about the animals rather than self. So you're caring more about something else than you are about yourself. How does that make any sense? How can you care more about
But that's the
something
same
that
thing.
isn't you?
Sometimes when it comes to religion, people praising Jesus for these things, but not themselves. That's like earlier when we was in Stratford Centre, I was saying to my friend, I was like, they need to be praising themselves. Why are they giving all their energy to something that's not them?
I know people that work hard 50 years and then they've earned something and then turn around and not once give themselves any credit
This is
but
it.
praise God and this and that.
This is it.
And not,
Where does self-love come from?
you
know
need
what I
to
mean?
acknowledge that you play a part.
I know what you're.
I'm gonna say this categorically because I'm on the table here. And I don't want no one watching me to get, because you know I came in this world alone. I'm gonna go alone. Like I don't want to take away anything. I don't want to take away any of the praise from the works of my hand or next man's hand. But I firmly, categorically believe everything is by the works of God.
Your
So if
motivation, ain't
no,
your
bro.
choices.
No, bro. Listen to me. Listen. You could speak for yourself. I know. I don't know. I believe. I believe personally that even the God concept, like I can't tell you I can't lie to you without telling you the truth. I can't come and tell you a lie that doesn't involve truths. that exist. Yeah. So for everything to be tampered with and the God concept to not be tampered with, I think is a ludicrous idea. Yeah. So for me, I've accepted that I can't say I know what it looks like, but I've accepted that the reason behind everything is God. So if I get to a good point and I want to give thanks, ultimately, and I'm going to teach my kids the same thing, ultimately it's by the hands of God. Because check this, I don't know where I was when these hands got fashioned.
I don't think we're saying not to give thanks.
Yeah,
we're just saying.
Oh, okay. No, I just want to clarify to everyone.
No, I agree with giving thanks to the creator, intelligent design, God, whatever people want to call it. But but also acknowledge yourself as well, because that's just as important. Because God designed and created, but without you doing, none of it was possible.
And that's what makes you the creator, because you create your reality. Therefore, you must be God if you are made from it.
Can I say something to it? Can I say something to that? I am like, because I came off from that paradigm of Christianity, hardcore, like you know.
So you like that word, yeah?
But it's more like I still read the Bible, you know, but from a whole different context.
Perspective
is changed. You know what I'm saying? I could go into any document and find out what pertains to me. Does that make sense? I don't hold on to text. But the main thing now with God now, first of all, that word God, when you actually go into the ancient Hebrew now, you find out that the word God was plural. So they always talk about
many of them.
Right, there was.
You're talking about Elohim.
What do you say Elohim, but that's Al-Hayam, right?
Okay, yeah.
So there's always L in everything. Angel,
Daniel, Great Gabriel, L. Yeah. I know about the EL still. Everyone's L.
That is in itself makes you think now. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when you say God, when the scripture will say things like you are a son of God, right? So if you're a son of God, I have a son. My son is, if anything, going to be better than me when he grows up.
I call it the Terminator 2.
You know what I'm saying? So if
that's what I call it.
Son, say imagine if I just tag, I'm not
the next
I'm not
gen.
Saying,
like, my G, you just made my point. So imagine on your son's sorted out the whole world. Your son knew the truth about all the problems.
He's gonna have to big up his dad, isn't it?
Thank you, my bro. On the day, on the
big up my dad.
Yeah. Your son,
But how is it?
But that's with him knowing that that's his dad, though, brother. Do you understand? If he were never about,
let me land. On the day that they award your son, I can only speak about me. Yeah. Knowing what I know, how I am with my kids, he thanked everyone. And he didn't give all praise due, like the people, to his mom and his dad. Right. I'm not going to be away about it, but I'm not going to lie. I'll feel away. I'm going to say, little pussy. Don't I? Man looked after you all your life, and you come out here and you thank all these scumbags. I read something in the Bible like that. I say, your God's a jealous God. I'll express my jealousy. You understand what I'm saying? So I like what you just said. Like, my son is me. But he's not. He's the new version. He's not his sister, but they all share the same second name.
Right. So
they all come from the same family.
Word made flesh. Like basically, something in your genes.
If you like, but he has to refer back. He has to refer back to the source.
He don't have to.
No, the thing is, my son now, right now,
He don't. That's your expectation.
No, he ain't got to say Heavenly Father. No. He ain't got to say no Heavenly Father.
Every time he gets a job promotion,
God doesn't ask you to do that. Religion
does.
The Bible doesn't ask you to do that. It's you going to church every Sunday, and the Bible tells you to go to church on the last day, on the Sabbath day, Saturday. But man goes church on Sunday, little batty boy priest waving some smoke in the air, looking down on everyone, and you come out and you're trying to tell
Pilot Cakes is not playing.
But I'm not about
this is your pilot speaking.
Do you know what I mean? I'm saying that there's God in everything, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like we eat an apple, yeah, and then man say, where did this apple come from? And man say, I don't care. Are you mad, fam? Where's the tree? I want to go see that tree. That apple's really nice. That's the dad, innit?
But bruv, there's two versions of God, yeah? Can I just say, yeah? Sorry, bro, Blem. There's two versions of God that we got here, quickly for you lot, yeah? We got the God that created us for the expectation of us to praise him, yeah? Yeah? That's that version, philosophically. And then we got another version of a God that has created you
with unconditional love
unconditional love, and he's like, I just want you to do your thing, boy.
Do what you do.
Get me? I just want you to do your thing to the best.
Because at the end of the day, I'm not waiting for my son to try.
to big me up. Do your thing. In fact, I'm bigging you up. I'm busy bigging you up. That's my son, you know. That's my son, you know.
You're right.
That's my son, you know.
You're right. You're not waiting for him. Listen, bro. Listen to me. Let's not get. I tried with that. I tried with that example, but I think I like what you just did. You're not waiting for him. If he went out there, and he didn't give you thanks, or he was doing whatever his thing, you just get on with your life. But check it, when the point comes to where someone asks him, or he's thanking everyone else, and he doesn't do his dues, you might still feel like whatever. But check it.
He doesn't outwardly.
No. He doesn't have to be outwardly. But you know what? His son. Imagine your son don't even say nothing on camera, but he comes to you and says, "You know what, Dad?
You know what, Dad? You got me.
My
This is because of you.
You know what I mean? It makes you feel good.
It does.
Because he knows you're not just.
But that's a human perspective based on a creator of everything.
No. Forget the human thing, bro. I'm saying, if I go to Mozambique, I've never been there. I honestly believe if there was something happening in the village, a dad there would and they say, "Who's your dad?" They've got the same thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a human thing. It's a godly thing. I believe you have to pay respect.
No, that's two different things. The human thing and the godly thing.
But I thought you said God.
I didn't. She said that.
Isn't a human a product of God?
Possibly, yeah. But that doesn't mean.
I wanna. Did God create him?
Creator.
What you mean by God?
So listen.
God comes from the Germanic word "good."
Forget the Germanic word. Forget the Germanic word. Let me start again. Bro.
Hey, mate. Just operate the camera, please, man. None of your clever shit.
Bro, let's check it this way. Yeah. A man is part of nature, right? Why do we all feel like man is being so, us lot here specifically, why, I think we can agree on this, why do we feel like man is being so disrespectful to nature? Because he comes from...
Because they're disconnected.
Could it be because he comes from nature?
That's all
they're
it is.
disconnected.
So man, so I want to hit something. So man is not respecting nature, but nature is God.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So man could say anything
I think there's a different thing.
I want us to stick.
I don't agree. Can I just interject with you, my brother?
That's cool.
Because what I understand is this: we are now in a world where we praise nature, and nature is Gaia, and Gaia is a spirit. Yeah, this is where we've been. Mother Nature. We are taken away from the creator that is the creator of nature. You feel what I'm trying to say? So it's like a middleman has taken the place. We're all told to worship nature and care for nature and blah blah blah. But really,
so what are you calling the creator?
I'm talking about the creator of nature.
So what are you calling that? Because I
think the creator
I stepped down. I
exists outside of nature.
So what are you calling
There's laws of nature, right?
Bro, what are you calling it?
Listen, I said the creator.
Okay,
there's laws of nature. Yeah.
So I'm the creator of my kids. You see my son.
Yeah.
Me and his mum created him. That's facts. But
No, it ain't facts.
What?
No, it ain't facts.
You
was part of the process.
You
participated in that. You don't know where that consciousness came from,
listen,
do you?
I didn't say I was the soul. I was about to follow on you. I was about to follow on.
Hey, pilot
check this, bro. Listen. If there are two sticks here, and I get two lenses, and you needed glasses because your glasses was broken, I say, hey, cool. I've got mechanics, and I make you a spectacles. I made it for you, didn't I?
Yeah,
I created it. I'm the father of it.
Okay, but that shows you were involved in the process of that. You're not
involved. We're splitting hairs.
No, we're not. It's real, innit?
So that means that means a man has never created nothing.
Maybe.
And because all the raw materials for everything has intrinsically always been there.
But this is the point. But this is the point.
You can't make music because the sound was already there.
That's the point. But that's real though. But that's real. That's actually real.
But I just between me and you now, I thought you actually believed that a man was a creator. I believe man can create stuff. I believe I was created, of course, and I can create.
Do you know what? I'm playing the advocate. I do believe that man can create, yeah? But I do not believe that man is the creator. When we talk about the creator, cool. When we talk about nature, yeah? Like for instance, yeah? People like even if you got an embryo, or you got a sperm and an embryo. Exactly. If you got a sperm and an embryo, and you said, "Oh, we've now found a way to grow a baby without the need of a sperm," that's all great. You still haven't created life.
No, bro. I didn't say I created
life. I'm not saying you. I'm not talking about you. I'm giving an example, though, innit? Yeah. Of you supplied sperm.
No, without me and his mum.
Yeah.
That boy would not be possible.
Cool.
And check it.
Cool. But you didn't create his life.
I think the thing.
You didn't create the child.
Can I say something? To
You
you
did. You took part in the process, and the end was. Listen. Let me finish. Let me land.
I made breakfast. Man's telling me I didn't lay the egg. No, I didn't lay the egg, fam.
Yeah. So you can't say you made egg.
How imagine your babes?
I prepared the egg.
Breakfast in bed, fam.
I prepared the egg. I participated in the process. I participated in the process. Yeah, to get this food on the plate. Cool.
That's where
But
my
you didn't
concept
create.
of God comes in. That's where I personally believe we can.
That's why it's
create-
different
I
from
don't even know
nature.
why I don't even know why we're arguing about this.
I don't know.
Like,
We're
let
not
me
arguing,
explain.
we're talking.
That's why we're. That's why we're.
What's
That's.
wrong with the world?
This is why we're. I just wanna. Anna, 1 second. I just want to say this is why I'm separating the creator from nature, because I believe that the creator is something outside of all them laws.
I do like
yeah.
that, though.
So the creator is outside of the laws of nature. Yeah. The creator created nature. We all give reverence to nature because that is the new middleman that we've been given. And nature is Mother Nature, and Mother Nature is Gaia, and Gaia is a spirit.
Now,
so we are back to spirit worship, and we don't know we're doing it.
Now the thing is,
do you understand what I'm saying?
I know what both of you are saying.
Yeah.
That's how deep it is.
Yeah.
You're both saying the same thing in a sense.
Same.
Well, let me explain why I say both of you are saying the same thing. Because, like, going back to the analogy of my son has everything genetically to be better than me. Does that make sense? But there's only so much he can do. You know what I'm saying? He still needs me all the way through to nurture him.
Yeah.
Right. That goes back to nature now. In this paradigm, you can't worship nature, but everything's all connected to the source initially. So, like that tree now, the least leaf in that tree is still the tree. Does that make sense? Of course.
Yeah, it's still part of it.
It's still part of the tree. So, when you look at, say, for instance, now, the process of giving birth now, right? You might not know energetically what you're capable of doing because you're in this paradigm. You don't even know where you are right now. We think we're here. Where is here? Do you get what I'm saying? There's so many things that we're capable of doing in terms of energy. When you're having sex, you just think, oh yeah, you're just busting. But what are you actually doing?
You're doing a madness.
So you're creating. So that's why I say, but at the same time as well, in this paradigm, I can't claim a creator because I'm not even conscious of what I'm doing. Does that make sense? There's a higher paradigm that knows. So when I ascend past this part, I will see how.
Hey, but why is everyone getting a bit like?
My son's one this month, and my mum passed away in November 2015, and we buried her in December. And in January, my son was on his way. Do you get it?
Yeah,
and my mum was saying that well before she
Repeat
passed.
that again, please, bro.
For me, sorry, my mum passed away in 2015 November, and in January 2016, my son was on his way. Do you get me? And me and my girl was together for time, and it never happened, didn't it? And I honestly believe that it wasn't even us. And that's what he's saying. My mum saying that before she went. She said, right, I want a grandchild next year, whether I'm here or not. You get me? And for it to come, and the way it comes, it's like, you see what I'm saying? So for me, that's why I'm so open to all this stuff now. Like, just know me from when you met me, bro. Look who I am now before you met me.
Transition so much.
For me, all of it is just it's taking time, but it's all come from that. And for me, I don't believe that. Obviously, I did create.
You took part in it, and it's but you didn't create.
I don't feel like it
because you had no chance. You had no choice on whether that thing activated or not that time. Something else took part in that.
Perfect.
Something else. And plus, you can create a girl or a boy. And plus you give birth, and plus you can create the flesh. Yeah. So you can take part in a physical process that creates a fetus, an embryo. But you have nothing to do with the consciousness that enters that body.
Have you seen that artist? Yeah, we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, we are saying the same thing.
I want to help myself. Yeah. Have you seen that artist that just throws things on the wall and then he sells it for a mad p?
Sounds like me.
It just comes out anyhow. No picture looks like the other picture. Yeah. And that's how he's making his money. So in terms of when you said, I didn't know. Look, maybe mother told me she was having a girl the first time and my first child. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh my god. Oh, a boy. Where's my boys at? Village man. But when I saw the scan, when I saw her face when she came out, I'd have never reversed it. Never changed it for nothing. But I'm just being honest for the camera. Why would I lie? I don't care what anyone thinks about me. I'm myself. Yeah, of course. So what I'm saying is I know I didn't have no exact control and play inside that. But all I'm trying to do is is, you see when man was saying we praise God, we don't praise ourselves.
Yeah.
All I'm trying to do
Just
there
give man a little
is
praise.
give myself the
You know
due
what?
praise.
You know what?
Because
But
you know what?
let's change it.
A cow can't do that. A dog can't do that. Furthermore, a man who's got problems, unfortunately, or a woman who's got. So we get.
There's
I
a
give
difference
thanks
between.
for the part I played in here. But who made me?
There's a
And why am I
difference.
here?
There's a
My
difference
dad.
between
Who made
creation.
him? And who made
Listen,
him?
there's a difference between creation and deliberate creation.
Okay,
Yeah,
there.
you
Now
understand?
you're talking.
So now, you understand?
We're going to another
No,
part.
so now, I definitely understand where Cakes is coming from. I get it. Yeah, you know what? You did create that. You was involved, but the deliberate part of it
is the creator. That's the creator's work because he knows what he.
And he created you with the ability to do that.
I feel like I
Not
needed it.
only that,
I
he knows
needed it.
how.
Yeah.
He knows how, yeah. And yeah, this is what makes it deliberate,
So
yeah.
now the
The
question now would
process, doing it deliberately. This is not an accident.
So the question now would be: are we gonna ascend to the point where we know how it's gonna get done?
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's even necessary for us to do it.
I don't think that's.
I don't know if we need to be preoccupied with that, but I mean that could be a good thing to know. I mean, I'm sure. I just don't know why we need to know that.
I don't think we can. Have you said there's a part on that Wu-Tang album? I think it's a Triumph. And I
Yeah,
love
I'm not
that
a son
skit.
of the Most High. Then
No,
that's the case.
I love that skit. It's an
Is it?
old school album.
Because
And
my son is gonna be better than me, if anything.
why?
You get what I'm saying? Because everything I'm gonna pour into him. You get what I'm saying?
You're
So
a creation.
but
You're a
you are
creation
putting a lot
of the Most High.
expectations on your son as
But
well.
it's your, it's your,
So
it's your
hopefully he doesn't
perception of
disappoint you if
better
he's
than-
not more.
Yeah, and what's better to you? We had this conversation last week about advanced. Someone said they were more advanced than the animal, and I bugged out because it's like, bruv, what's your perception about? Oh well, we can create technology and we're
your son's
it's
perfect.
like,
I
bruv, it
think
don't.
you're perfect. I
Yeah.
think everyone's perfect.
So
I think man don't
him
know
being
what's
better
going
at you
inside
doesn't
of
mean
man.
if you're a good fighter, don't mean he's gonna be a better fighter than you.
Okay,
He
maybe
just
do
might
something else.
he might just be a better
I think
human than
we're,
you.
we're afraid of the word different.
Different.
And it comes with
Yes.
so many connotations
Yes.
rather than just being different.
Yeah.
Like, if it's
So
You want to be
Yeah.
better and more advanced,
Yeah.
but you just be
I'm
different.
using it in the context of the God thing. So if the Most High, if we're seen as the Son of the Most High,
Yeah.
right, and that now means that either ways, however you want to look at it, He's me. Does that make sense?
You've got me to where I'm. You've come to where I'm at.
You want him to be the best.
Exactly.
Thing.
You want it, but that's not the
Yeah, but you've got
Now,
expectation
that
of what
doesn't
you
mean
want
that
from
he
him.
won't he won't get to that point.
Yeah.
But most times, your son is gonna be he's gonna be his own being, but he will be a creator on some kind of paradigm. Does that make sense?
Of course, but it doesn't mean it's
And
gonna
won't
be
the
better.
happiness also come from like your son giving manners or people saying, "Oh, your son's so polite" or things like that? That's the real. Well, for me, I would think that's the real
Reward.
like thanks from my child living what I've taught.
Live,
Showing, like, living in its truth or whatever it believes to be its truth. That would be for me. I would believe.
Because
that
they'd
to
probably
be
be
the
nothing worse than
ultimate
having a child that's
thanks
disappointing
from my
to you.
child. Like,
And
But
this
if they
is-
came
and
a
this
point,
was
if they came
a
a
lot of
point
the
and they
youths are
said,
like that now.
"Where's your dad?"
They go jail and
Oh
all
yeah,
that.
no,
And
of course.
then
Yeah,
and you were
if they was
standing
asked
there
the
and
question,
you
yeah,
pointed
like-
a stranger out.
Yeah, no,
I feel shit.
But I get
because you know
yeah,
the
that's
part
why I
you
don't
play.
get
definitely.
adults or parents.
But that's
that-
your selfishness.
that
You
allow
want that
other
praise.
role models for their children.
For their
Like they
children.
don't see themselves as the ultimate role model for their child. Like
Okay,
as
the
in-
ultimate role model. I
they
think you'd
should be
allow
the-
some,
yeah.
but
no,
you're the
outside
ultimate. Yeah,
there's
of course,
other
of course.
like inspirations and
yeah.
stuff. But you should see yourself
There's,
as the ultimate role model.
I spoke
for
about this before. There's a Osho quote, yeah. Sorry, 1 minute. Alright, cool. Just quickly say there's an Osho quote, yeah, that says basically from the moment that a child is born, the parents are fixated with trying to force that child in a selfish way to love them.
True.
Rather than teaching them to love themselves. So you're trying to teach your child how to love you.
Guilt trip.
Yeah? Love me, I'm your dad, I'm your mom, blah 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 blah, blah, rather than showing them how to love themselves.
that
But that's
Yeah?
religious
And
mentality,
that's what we need to get away from. Because once we get away from that, we get back to what Cakes was saying as some animals have a perfect form of love where it's like, right, I've given birth to you, go on.
Run with that.
I don't need to own you to then live vicariously through you and all the things I never got to do. I never got to play football, so you're going football at 4 years old and I can't fight, so you're going boxing. And that's us projecting what we want on the child.
That's the beauty of nature. It's all different. We
all
should look
different.
at it and learn. And some people
Cultivate
will do
that child to be the best
that's
them.
calm, like, yeah.
That is
Yes,
good.
yes,
That is a
yes.
good. That is a good. Not being like you know, being like them.
When the child hits 14 and he starts growing beard on his face, you didn't even control that.
Trust me.
So what are you making
yeah.
noise? The
Yeah,
boy's
yeah,
doing
yeah.
great stuff. He's growing up. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, whatever, man.
Right.
Big.
Wrap it up.
What we're rapping? We're rapping. All right. thank you to everyone that come down. This is exactly why I wanted these precise people here for this type of conversation. We warmed up into it. Anyone that wants to come back another time, whatever, you're more than welcome. I like to see you lot come like 2-3 times. Pause. I didn't mean that.
Back at it again.
I wasn't even there.
I went
Do the pause.
Do you know? I tell you what. I tell you what I'm suffering from. Yeah. I tell you what I'm suffering from. Yeah. My brethren this morning sent me a sound clip of me saying, "Yeah. So if I was the singer, I'd want to blow all you man away." Yeah. So for that, because I got immature, stupid friends like that, he's playing it back and fam. He's playing it. So that's why I say things like that. But yeah. Anyway, this is why I got everyone here.
I'm just you again.
You lot keep trying to leave me on my own.
I just want to say I want no parts of this. They paid me to be here. I don't know what they paid.
I don't know where I am. Where am I?
But I'm out.
But yeah, that's basically it. That's it. I ain't got no long speech.
Who's for the doctor?
Who's got? Wait. 1 second, my brother. Who? Where did I start from last time? I'm gonna start. Yeah, I started from there. I'm gonna start from there. Closing statements about anything.
I want to say, okay, I've been pointing in this direction. I'm just going to speak to people.
Yeah.
I really don't like talking to the camera, but I love everyone that's listening. Yeah, find a way, come down if possible. It's all about connections. I'm about building real connections, So, let's do it.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed being here. Thank you so much for inviting us. It was cool meeting all you guys as well. And yeah, I just absolutely loved it. And be the change you want to see.
Yeah, just to echo that, just have the courage and the faith to be yourself, even if no one's doing what you're doing or what you want to do. Like, you do it, and once you do it, you'll start to see a whole other set of people that also do it as well.
Yeah,
so you're not alone.
Yeah, start living your truth, and you'll start attracting people who are living that same kind of truth. And subscribe to the channel as well.
Hey, this is my mate. This is my mate. Hey. We love that. Go for it, Ivy.
Yeah, just everything that everyone else has said, man. But love is key, and awareness will lead you to greatness.
Oh, fucking gems at the end, did it? Oh, he's pressure, man.
I just had mad fun, enjoyed it. You get me? I like. Big up everyone I met here. I learned a lot of stuff, and I'll just say, you know what? Be yourself. What I learned today is like you can have a conversation with people you might not agree totally with, or don't agree or agree with, and learn stuff. You don't have to shove your idea down someone's throat, and just show love, man. Life is too short. We all gonna go. You know what I mean? So,
Oh man, it's been a nice day, man. It's been a nice day. I almost didn't come still, but do you know what? My gut brought me here, innit? And my gut's my ride or die, bro. Got me out of a lot of sticky situations, so I go with that and go with yours, innit? And it brought me here.
Follow your gut.
It's been a good thing, so I'll definitely be back, man.
Yeah, man, and I'm gonna say, you know what? This platform is just about conversations. That's all it is. Speakenomix. Talk is cheap, but there's value in conversation. Please go out there, if you're watching this, have a meaningful conversation with the person next to you, or the person on the road, or the person at the bus stop, or anybody. Don't talk about bollocks. Don't talk about Kim Kardashian. Don't worry about politics and war and blah blah blah. But say something that's gonna share something that's gonna maybe empower someone else or help expand your own view and consciousness. And if everyone's doing that and having better conversations, I think that is something that we underplay a lot. Yeah, if you have better conversations, if you're not in a circle of people that can chat sense, I think we all agree that you're probably in the wrong circle, or just have couple circles.
Change your friends or change your friends, like
basically, you know. So yeah, on that, that's it, man. Any of you man got anything to say? Cause you're all part of it. Anyone? Leon over there? Yeah? I think that was a sign. As soon as he started speaking, the light went out. Alright, cool, let's wrap it there. That's done.
Outro.
Do you have a little ding ding?
I don't have an outro. What happens is, you know the outro is, while we're chatting and blah blah blah, the credits is coming already. So this part of the conversation, yeah, that's what I do. I just cut it down. It just comes in.
So you can have a fake conversation.
So it's ended already.
Yeah.
It's ended with conversation.